everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? I know it's been forever, okay, since I had a good old writing session with y'all. But I'm here now, okay? And I've actually been doing these sessions by myself. So I figured, you know what? Let me just go live and, y'all are probably getting into bed, which is fine. Y'all get into bed. I'm just going to be over here writing. I'm going to listen to something on my phone. Y'all are going to hear it too. I think I'm about to click on this video that is talking about, I think it was one of the guys who escaped from the Louisiana jail recently. Now he's trying to get parole. So I think we're going to listen to that. I'm not sure. But so we're just going to listen to that, listen to this music while I write, y'all. If y'all are, in the bed, y'all chilling, whatever, go to sleep. Y'all can leave this on. I've got some, soft music playing in the background. Let me make sure y'all can hear it good. Hold on. Now he's trying to get parole. So I think I'm going to listen to that. Yeah. Sure. So y'all can hear me good. Like the video on your way in, on your way out. If you're working too, then, just consider this to be like, hey, it's like we're working together, right? I'm writing and you're doing whatever you're doing, creating whatever you're creating. And, y'all do y'all thing. I'm going to do my thing. As you can see, I am working on the next book, which I don't know if I already told y'all. I told some of y'all, but I don't know if all y'all knew that. I decided to do a sequel to book 1, which is Provoked, right? So I decided to do a sequel to this one because it's just needed, okay? Like we need this. Like we totally need this. I need this. Y'all need this. We all need this, okay? We all need a sequel. So I've been working on the sequel. Right now I'm just going through editing and just correcting some spots in there. As you can see, it's like it's a book, okay? Like we've got a book here. So right now I'm just going through and like editing and putting in some stuff that I wanted to add, taking out some stuff that I want to take away, just all part of the writing process. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let me see. Let me turn this up I'm gonna turn up just a tinge, okay? Turn the music up just a hair. And yeah, so y'all just chill, go to sleep, do whatever you're gonna do. I'm gonna be in here working. I don't know for how long, y'all, because I'm tired. I'm super sleepy, but I gotta get this done, okay? Like these books are not gonna write themselves, okay, y'all? So we gotta get this done. Which is about done. I'm really trying to figure out exactly when I want to release it. But I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty soon. Like, because remember I was telling you I was going to release Objectified on my birthday, which is in August. But now, since I decided to go ahead and do this one, do the sequel to Provoked, and this one, y'all, I don't know if y'all knew this, but this one is called Provoked to Purpose. So y'all can see that right there. This one is called Provoked to Purpose. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So y'all see that? So this is the new volume 2 that's coming out soon. And so that's what I'm working on. And after I finish this round of edits, I'm going to send it through to my editor, which this is my editor right here. So I already have her name in here. She's going to, let me see. Let me have it. Let me see. I need to learn her spelling. Okay. We added her name to the dictionary. Okay. So now I won't say her name is spelled wrong. So, yeah, so that's where we are right now, y'all. So yeah, y'all working whatever you're gonna be working on. If y'all don't mind in the chat, just let me know what you're working on, and I'll just help to hold you accountable. Y'all hold me accountable, I hold y'all accountable, and we'll just do what we gotta do, right? So I am going to, let's see what we want to listen to. What y'all want to listen to while we work, child? I kind of want to hear what he's got to say because the thing says, the caption says there's a shocking twist. Okay, so I want to listen to this, and I'll probably just comment. Let me click on it real quick. I'm a y'all, he looks stupid. Look, let me show you. Let me show you this picture. You already can tell he lying. Child, look at this. Look at this, y'all. Y'all can tell he lying. Look at that face. And look at the lady in the background, child. She like, he lying. He lying. That's how she look. Child, I don't know why this stuff be like, it just tickles me how these people, they be trying it, you know? But when y'all can actually like see through a person's lies, right? You can see like the manipulation. It's like, it's just clear as day. It's almost kind of comical. It's like, really? Like, you really just gonna sit there and lie in my face like this? And you think I'm going for it? Child, please. So let's listen to this, because this child, he looked disturbed, honey. Okay. I think they caught about how many of them escaped? Was it like 8 of them or something that escaped? And the last I saw, they had caught maybe like 2 or 3 of them or something. It's still some like that's out there. Do y'all know like the latest and greatest on those jail escapees? And some of the ones that was in that jail shouldn't have even been in there. They should have been in prison, child. Whew, it's crazy. All right, let's listen to this, y'all. Y'all tell me why they got soft music playing in the background while he talking about, I didn't understand. Child, please. Okay.
The things that I learned, it helped me recognize that the old me wasn't fit to be a father. The old me wasn't fit to be a prison. I was confused. I really didn't understand. But due to me doing these 10 years in prison and coming in this program and learning the things that I learned, it helped me recognize that the old me wasn't fit to be a father. The old me wasn't fit to be a husband. The old me wasn't even fit for society.
Y'all, oh my God. Okay, I'm not even supposed to be looking at this, right? But this one lady, one of the ladies on the parole board, she's just like shaking her head like she eating it up. See, they don't need to have no softies on the parole board. You gotta be tough, okay? You on a parole board, you can't be falling for this. Like, they spend all this time in jail just trying to like come up with this sob story, you know? You can't fall for this stuff, child. And she over there eating it up. Let me show y'all real quick. Come on, I'm not supposed to be. Y'all, see, this is how I be getting distracted while I'm writing. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. This is the inmate right here, right? That's the inmate right there. Y'all see, you can tell he giving a good old sob story. Look at his face. And then this lady right here, she eating it up. Look at her face. Them two don't look like they buying it at all. Look, them two ain't buying it. But that one at the top, she was like, yeah, I believe you. Child, please. No, I don't believe you. You're lying. I know you're lying. Because your lips moving. Okay. All right, y'all. Here we go.
Because how can I be fit for society with the thinking pattern that I had? And how could I be a father and give good advice and set morals for my kids when I didn't even know if I was coming or going?
Oh, what did he do? What did he do? He must have done something, child. What did he do? Then got himself off. Thank you, Dara, for telling me, child. That's a hot mess. Okay, here we go, y'all.
And you just heard from someone who is pleading to the parole board, pleading to be paroled, and he has a long mountain to climb because what's in his jacket? Not just a whole lot of crimes, but also an escape. He escaped from prison in 2012, and after being captured, is now finally trying to rectify his wrongs. And the reason I bring up this hearing now is, of course, because of the major jailbreak that is taking place in Louisiana now. And I thought what we would do is cover all of the Louisiana parole hearings that involve inmates that have a jailbreak, a prison break in their jacket, so we can see how it affects them. Now, I have to warn you in advance, this parole hearing, it has many twists and turns, so hang around till the end. And with that, let's jump in.
Okay, this is the case for Reginald Baptiste, DOC number 498673, classified as a 5th felony offender. Offenses: simple escape type 1, Possession of marijuana, second offense, attempted. Distribution of cocaine, habitual offender law, possession of a firearm. Sentencing dates are January 25th, 2012 and November 27th, 2012. Sentenced to a total of 14 years. Parole date, November 27th, 2016. Good time, June 4th, 2023. Full term, September 17th, 2025.
You still at the market?
Is this information correct, sir?
I think I want to go up there this weekend, y'all. Because I missed the market. I hope I didn't miss the strawberries. But I want some, I think I want some strawberries and some peaches. Yeah, that's what I want.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Wise.
See what else they got.
Mr. Baptiste, what program are you in at this time?
Bullshit, shy shop, substance abuse.
Okay, I see you have adjusted date on 6/4/2023, and you had 435 days of CPRP credits there. When was your last disciplinary write-up?
My last disciplinary write-up? I remember it being when I was in Allen's Corrections, maybe that's 2017 or 16.
Okay. Have you, let me ask you something. Okay. You were over at Morehouse on 12/9/20 at disciplinary. What happened there?
Disciplinary, I was an inmate, and I had just been recently shipped to a trustee facility for good behavior. And once I entered the facility or whatnot, they had a shakedown or whatnot, and a cell phone was found. And I was charged with it.
Why did you tell me the last disciplinary write-up you had was back in 16, 15, 16?
Because that's the last one that I found paperwork on. The last write-up that was in Morehouse, I never received any paperwork or nothing like that. So I figured that, it wasn't a write-up or whatnot. But by you asking me, I do have knowledge of that.
Okay, on 12/9/20 at disciplinary. Was that in December?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, what happened on 9/23/20? You had a disciplinary. I want you to shoot straight with me now. I'm looking at the paperwork.
Yes, sir. I'm shooting straight with you. That was one was for the cell phone, and another one was, I believe, for a fight or something like that.
Let me tell you something. You don't believe. You either know or you don't know. I'm looking at a disciplinary you got right here. I want you to shoot straight with me. That's one of the things on rehabilitation. But anyway, we'll go on. How long will it be before you be completing your programs?
I have already graduated, sir.
And what program you in right now?
Steve Hoyer, intensive substance abuse program.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, from being so nervous.
But
he ain't nervous.
Well, I understand you
lying.
Being nervous.
Y'all hear this? He ain't nervous, child. He just lying. They always be lying.
You shoot straight with me. That's the only way we're going to be able to get it.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to know your poor supervision has been bad. You've had multiple things that happen in your jacket. You're a 5th class offender. You're 34 years old. And, as I'm looking over your arrest reports and things, marijuana, cocaine, and drugs has been a big problem for you. You've been... Because let me just tell you what, on 9/23/2020, you were charged with taking contraband into a penal institution.
Yeah, that was the that was part of the cell phone incident.
That's right.
That was part of the cell phone incident.
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
Ms. Wise, I see your hand is up.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Baptiste, you appeal.
Y'all, this is the one that's soft. I think she's soft on all of them. Like, I've been watching some of these. This channel is called Mandu. Let me see. Let me put it in the chat for y'all, just in case y'all want to go. But he posts a lot of like parole hearings and stuff like that. And y'all really should like watch some of these sometimes, you know, because like it's really interesting. Let me see. Okay, I'm putting this in the chat for y'all, so y'all can go and watch it for yourselves whenever you get a chance. But y'all for real, especially like when y'all hear the ones that like abuse children or you know, have like done crimes against women and stuff like that, and you start hearing like their stories. Some of them have been in prison for like decades and they still have like no remorse. They have no like self-reflection. They haven't done any of the work, you know, as far as like rehabilitation or anything. It's like they just been like just spending time just in prison, just doing nothing. Like not pursuing their education. Some of them have low education and they can get all that stuff in prison, but they don't take advantage of it. But then they want to be released, and it's like trying to plead their case to be released, but they've done absolutely nothing, like none of the work to, you know, show that they're even trying. It's just crazy. But y'all gotta like, you really get an insight into people's mindset when you start watching these parole hearings. It's really interesting.
Before a panel on October the 16th of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I interviewed Mr. Reginald Baptiste. He's at Morehouse Parish. My interview was on October the 6th of 2020. Mr. Baptiste is 33 years old. He is a fifth class offender. He was born in Long Beach, California. His father was in the service at that time. They then moved to New Orleans, where he said they lived in the projects. He dropped out of school in the 12th grade to help his grandmother, as his mother, he said, was a drug addict. He got his GED when he was in Allen Correctional Center. He has 4 daughters who live in New Orleans. He has currently been in prison for 8 years and 5 months. I asked him to explain the simple escape of 2012. He said he was at the parish prison where he was. He was in a dorm. A dorm rep let him go outside to get some food. He wasn't supposed to. He pled guilty and got 2 years. To be perfectly frank, it was not a very good explanation, and I'm not certain that I actually believe what he said, but that was his story. His probation and parole, he claims to have completed both successfully. His disciplinary move on his prison record, he has no real information. I asked him to explain because he was moved on September the 30th of 2020. He said no big deal. He claimed where he was housed, there were a group of guys that he hung around with, and the administration didn't see eye to eye with him. Apparently, these guys were smoking when they should not have been. And unfortunately, he said his eyes were red and they thought he had been doing something, but he really had a bad toothache. He said it turns out they claim he tested positive for marijuana. He denies that, but the test did show he was positive for marijuana. He said they moved him. He claims not to know if he got a write-up or a disciplinary reason or not. I tried to get information from Morehouse, but they had no further information. I asked him about his programs. He said Allen has no programs, so there's nothing where he is. He said he did go to a few AA meetings. I asked him what his first priority was, and he said to recognize the problem. I asked him if he had any tools that would assist him in getting off of drugs and staying off of drugs, and he said get a nice job, not hang out with old people, and to talk to someone. I asked him if he had any other tools, and he said no, he thought that would be sufficient. I then questioned him about drug court. He graduated from a drug court program. 20 days later, he was arrested for possession of marijuana. Said he's been doing marijuana since.
Yeah, he said he graduated from drug court and then they got caught for drugs. Child. Bless his heart.
He was 12 years old. Outside jobs, or he was a chef at an Irish restaurant for about 8 months. He was working construction for about 6 months. Inside, he did cooking. His plans are he would like to go to culinary school and massage therapy school when he gets out. He's had, in 8.5 years, he's had one write-up since 2016, depending on that recent issue that we talked about. He plans to live with Shalita, the mother of his first daughter in New Orleans East. Ms. Shalita, as I understand it, he says is a hotel manager, and he will get him a job there. Short-term goals is to start to go to massage therapy school. Long-term culinary work and massage therapy. He claims he dealt drugs, didn't use them. The effects of his dealing and the effects on his victim, he said, well, you go to jail if you continue to deal drugs. He did not express very much remorse about what he had done. He has no substance abuse programs, no anger management programs. His current good time date is February of 2024. I asked him, I said, is there anything you would like to say to the board? I'll relay that to him. And his comments were, I just want to get out. That was basically his comments. My recommendation is that he needs substance abuse evaluation and some anger management courses. That would be my vote today, would be to deny and encourage him to do those things. Mr. Roche, do you have any questions or any comments?
I agree with your presentation, Mr. Marabella, because he has an extensive criminal history. He needs substance abuse. He had a positive drug screen in September of 2020. He has a poor supervision history and a moderate risk assessment. He is a supervision risk, and my vote is to deny his request.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Wise.
No, you.
Yeah, is Miss Thomas is she going to speak, Teresa?
No, sir. We weren't able to contact her.
Okay, well, I see she's still on the phone there. Miss Thomas, do you have anything you want to say? I guess not. Okay. Did he ever say anything, Mr. Marabella, about his relationship with his wife or anything like that? Where he was living at? Or
He said he was going to be living with Shalita, who is one of his girlfriends who's on the phone here.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know how it planned out. It looked there's a lot of relationship going on here. I didn't know what the deal was, But anyway, I don't have any questions.
Yeah. It would be my vote to deny his parole based upon the reasons I gave, as well as those reasons Mr. Roche gave. Mr. Roche, your vote is to deny as well?
My vote is already on the record.
Okay. Mr. Wise?
No, you ain't getting
Also,
out.
my vote is to deny, the same as yours.
3 votes to deny. Mr. Baptiste parole has been denied. Thank you, ladies.
And you were denied because of the moderate risk. You had victim opposition, criminal history, and
See, that was his previous denial right there. So now in this hearing, they just like referred back to that last one, and now they're trying to see if he should get out now. But see, like in the meantime, dude has escaped from jail. So like, no, leave him in there. He deserve to get out.
strongly encourage you to get into programs.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so shortly after that, you got moved to Steve Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's the way you put in for it, or did they just move you?
I put in for it, ma'am.
Okay. I want to commend you for that. And I want to make sure that you understand, during this pandemic, these last 2 years, you were blessed and fortunate to get moved to that program and have an opportunity to take those services. I hope you realize that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because they weren't doing very much moving during that time. And I just want to make sure you understand that that's a precious opportunity that you've had to get clean.
Yes, ma'am.
Your sentence is 14 years. How long have you served on this 14-year sentence?
9 years and 10 months.
Okay, all righty.
Not y'all, 9 years, and she's telling him to take advantage of the programs that he has. He hasn't taken advantage of all these programs in 9 years. Y'all, child, nope, leave him in there.
Sure. And
leave him in there. Don't serve all his time.
And on July 28th of 2021, a panel agreed for you to have a rehearing.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the way. So if you're successful today, what would you do? Where would you live, and how would you support yourself?
Well, my resident will be with my sister, and as a matter of fact, I have 2 job opportunities because my kid's mother, one is a manager at the Marriott Hotel, and another one is a manager at Walmart, dealing with overnight stocking. And due to the pandemic, I was told by both of them that a lot of people is quitting their jobs, so they're looking for a lot of help. And by me just coming home or whatnot, I could put in the hours, and I'm willing to work. And I also obtained something that I felt like was hindering me from getting a job before incarceration, which was my high set in GED. So I pretty much fit the criteria to get either one of those jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and both of those are good companies. And you're not gonna make a lot of money off right off the top, but consistently getting a paycheck every whatever builds up. Right. That's what you recognize. What about AANA meetings?
Yes, I'm willing to go to anything that the board want me to go to. I also had this church that my aunt was a part of. They have a lot of, good people, a lot of people that I look up to as a child. And I knew that's part of my support group, along with my sister, who I, would be residing to, because by her being, an alcohol-free, a drug-free person, and, she's my older sister, and she always have a way of making things, she just stay on me. And I felt like that's something good for me.
Okay, but you have enough skills now that nobody have to stay on you.
Right.
You know what you have to do.
Yes, ma'am.
But again, how many AANA meetings are you going to go to a week?
I'm willing to go to however many I need to go to. I mean, outside of me not working, like whatever, however.
I don't believe him. Y'all believe him?
I'll go 2 or 3.
So it sounds like you hadn't thought about it. How you
going
to stay clean and sober?
Oh, I'm going to stay clean and sober by any means. Just staying away from the group of people I was once hanging around out there, and staying in touch with my support group, which is my sister in the church.
Okay.
Because between the time that I'm going to spend repairing my relationship with my kids, and on top of working and everything, that's going to occupy all of my time and going to groups. So I really wouldn't have time to do anything else and nothing like that.
Okay. Okay. And those AANA meetings now, they're online on Zoom, kind of like what we're doing now. So they're making that. I'm sure the staff will tell you all about that. Our staff, is anything y'all want to put on the record about Mr. Baptiste?
The only thing I want to add in addition to what I sent y'all is that
I don't believe him either.
Reported that he participated well in class and that he took responsibility for his behavior.
Good to hear. Good to hear. All right, that's all I had, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Walls. Ms. Baptiste, you graduate. When do you graduate? You've already graduated from Steve Harwell?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was on January 14th of this year. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One thing I was a little concerned about when you were talking to Ms. Wise, and I understand that you're nervous, but you said you'd go to whatever meetings the board thought you needed to go to. The board doesn't have a substance abuse problem, you do. And so you should go because of your own recognition that you need treatment, not because that's what the board tells you.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that?
I fully understand that, ma'am.
All right.
See, it's almost like they give them the answers. You know what I mean? Like they give them the answers to the test. But she was like, well, you're going to have to show basically like that you're taking the initiative, that you want to do this, that you're doing what you're supposed to do. So he like, yeah, I understand. Like, no, you don't. Because if you understood, you would have already been on top of doing what you felt was best for you or like best for your future. He only going to do what they make him do so he can get out. That's it.
All right, thank you. Would you like to say anything before the board votes, Mr. Baptiste?
Yes, ma'am. I understand in my life I made a lot of bad choices, a lot of bad decisions, and a lot of bad mistakes. I made so many of those mistakes and bad choices, it landed me 10 years in prison, away from my kids. And at first, when I first caught this sentence...
Did y'all hear the music start playing? That's exactly what I'm talking. Every time you hear somebody lie, just imagine the violins playing in your head, like, da, 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 like a sob story. Child, ain't nobody believing you. Let me go back. They started playing the music.
A lot of bad mistakes.
I know I made a lot of bad mistakes. I'm not making fun of his accent. I actually like it, but I love that, like that New Orleans accent. It's just so neat. But I love all accents, to be honest. They're all neat. But y'all, they just started playing the music on him.
All right, thank you. Would you like to say anything before the board votes, Mr. Baptiste?
Yes, ma'am. I understand in my life I made a lot of bad choices, a lot of bad decisions, and a lot of bad mistakes. I made so many of those mistakes and bad choices, it landed me 10 years in prison, away from my kids. And at first, when I first caught this sentence, I was confused. I really didn't understand. But due to me doing these 10 years in prison and coming to this program and learning the things that I learned, it helped me recognize that the old me wasn't fit to be a father. The old me wasn't fit to be a husband. The old me wasn't even fit for society. Because how can I be fit for society with the thinking pattern that I had? And how could I be a father and give good advice and set morals for my kids when I didn't even know if I was coming or going? Thinking like that. And I take full responsibility for everything that I did. And the things that I learned in this program, it helped me be a better father, a better spouse, a better person all the way around. It also helped me realize things that I need to stay away from once I re-enter society if I'm given that chance. And it also helped me realize if you implement certain things in your life, it can help you become a better person. Like for myself, I took some steps from the Alcohol Anonymous 12-step program and started implementing some of those things in my life. And so far, I've been getting good results. Like first started realizing that I was powerless to my alcohol and drug addiction. Next, I needed to seek a power greater than myself and believe it could restore me back to sanity. After that, ask God to remove all my shortcomings because nothing's possible without God. And after that, make a list of people that I hurt during my reign of destruction as an addict and seek to make amends. The next thing that I have found to be very helpful for me was our risk factors, because risk factors is behavior and weaknesses that addicts seem to have but be afraid to admit to. So what I did was took those risk factors, the ones that I felt like apply to me while being honest to myself at the same time, and started working on those things to help me become a better version of myself, not just for my sake, but for my kids' sake. And those risk factors was blame, because I was blaming my situations on any and everybody except for the person who was at fault, which was myself. The next one was justify. I tried to justify all my actions like, I'm selling drugs because of this, or I'm getting high because of this, when in fact it was just BS. Next was denial. I was denying that I even needed help or even had a problem. After that, the next risk factor was lack of accountability, not owning up to my wrongdoing or my mistake, always looking for an escape route or a scapegoat, someone to blame my situation on. And after that was negative peer groups. I had a lot of negative people around me that just was bad for company.
Y'all look. Do y'all hear him? You know what's sad though, y'all? You know he would talk somebody's panties off with all of this, like with just all of this mess. You know? I hate when women fall for this type of stuff. Look, y'all, that didn't turn one of them into a cat, y'all. They like, okay, he got the music playing. Okay. This guy is really laying it on thick. But he's not, if you really notice, he's not saying anything concrete. He's not giving any steps. He hasn't done anything. There's nothing that's even proving that he's doing what he's even saying he's going to do. Being that in this 10 years has taught me that, and this, like, dude, no, dude. You staying in there.
Around. And after that, goes someone to blame my situation on. And after that was negative peer groups. I had a lot of negative people around me that just was bad for company all the way around. And after that, one of the most
a negative peer group. Y'all know what? Oh, see, this is why. Okay, I gotta focus, y'all. Okay, he's talking about being around negative peer groups. Dude, you're the negative peer group. People can't be around you.
It was a course that I took within this program was victim awareness. The reason why victim awareness was so important to me because, like, one of the board members stated in 2020, I remember having a hearing over the telephone. I never made it like, face to face with you guys. I was having a telephone hearing, and I remember one of the board members asking me a question. It kind of threw me for a loop. I understood it, but it threw me for a loop because I didn't have much knowledge on the question he asked me. And the question he asked me was, Mr. Baptiste, how you feel about your victims? And I was kind of puzzled because I was like, wait a minute, I'm not a violent crime offender. I'm a non-violent drug offender. Not knowing at the time, which I learned in this program, that there's no crime that could be committed that's not going to have victims. Your victims could be your family, your friends, your neighborhood, or even
this lady get on my nerves. I can't stand when you see somebody just eating up lives like this. Y'all, hold on. Let me go. Y'all gotta see this for yourself. Hold on, look at this lady. Look at this lady face. Her right there.
Which I learned in this program that there's no crime that could be committed that's not gonna have victims. Your victims could be your family, your friends, your neighborhood, or even yourself.
Look at the cat.
And that kind of blew my mind too because I didn't even know you could be a victim of your own crime. And the next thing this program has.
Do y'all see her with her hand like this?
Your victim's not always gonna be people who you dislike.
Oh, I can't stand it. She is eating it up. Oh my gosh, she is eating it up. Y'all, she even put her hand like this, like she's just looking at him like he's so dreamy. Like, oh, you're saying all the right things. OMG.
Conflict or confrontation with your victims can affect you, people who you love, who you hold close to your heart. In my case, my victims was my family, which is my children, my mother.
Y'all, she look like forgive me, she low-key look like she is getting turned on by this. This is disgusting. Like, this is disgusting to me. Ugh. She gonna have to be tougher. Like, at all the inmates that she sees, all the things that they do, and she's just sitting there like, oh, he's saying all the right things. His accent. Oh, I'll break you out myself.
Up until the time me losing my mother to a hell.
I might have to put this up on the screen for y'all. Hold on. I might have to put this up on the screen. Look where they got the cat at now, y'all.
And my grandmother to
look at the cat.
And for me, I learned that it was bittersweet because the reason it was sweet because I now acknowledge another problem that I had. I could start fixing it. So what made it so bitter was when I thought about my...
Hold on, I'm about to pull this up for y'all. If I pull it up, then I won't have to keep looking back at it. Y'all, this is so funny. Do y'all see this mess? She is eating it up. Oh, that's so disgusting. Oh, that's disgusting. Y'all, that is crazy. Like the other ones are just kind of like just listening. Like they've already made a decision. They're not buying it. You know, like, okay, whatever. It look like they're working on some other paperwork or something. But this lady is really like you're just saying all the right things and doing all the right things. You know, I just love you. It's not letting me. I don't know why it's not opening up. Hold on, my loves. Y'all, this lady is eating this up. Oh, God, help her. See, I feel like people like that don't need to be on a parole board, you know? Like, they don't need to be the ones in charge of, like, making these tough decisions. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be tough. Because, like, that's the deterrent right there. Like, the consequences, that's what deters most people. But with her, like, it's like he knows that she's going to be the softie. And see, like, I know that they go back, like those inmates, they'll go back to the jail, whatever, to the prison, and they'll tell each other, you know, this is what you got to say, this is what you got to do, you know, you got to, like, you know, make them believe that you're remorseful, you know, that you know, you didn't mean it, you know, you sorry for the victims, you know, and all of that stuff. And like he's saying all of this stuff, but none of his actions actually shows that he is, like, you know, on this rehabilitation path. In fact, all his actions show that he's not, including him escaping from jail. Like, come on, lady. Y'all can look it up yourself, because for some reason my thing is not letting me pull it up. But y'all, this is crazy.
Because I thought about my kids and all the hurtful, embarrassing moments I sent.
He wasn't thinking about them chillings. He was not thinking about them chillings, y'all. He was not. Look at his mouth. Look at his mouth. Y'all can tell he lying. Look at him. You can tell he lying. Talking at the side of his neck. And look at the other two at the bottom. Like, look at them two at the bottom. That guy, he not even looking. He like, okay, just go ahead and say your speech and then just be over with. And then this lady, she's just being polite. Like, okay, all right, it's your turn to say your speech. Go ahead, say what you got to say. She not studying it. But that lady right there with the cat, child, she eating it up. Oh, I can't. Don't put me on a parole board, child. Do not put me on a parole board. Because I'd be like, I would not be as nice as them. She sounding so motherly, like, well, you know, you're going to have to get in those programs and do what you're supposed to do. No, like, dude. I'd be like, dude, you've been in prison for 9.5 years. You haven't taken advantage of any of these courses that we offered you. You haven't got any more education. You keep getting caught doing stuff. You took drug rehab, but then you got caught for drugs again. You escaped. You did this, that, like, child, don't put me on the parole. Don't put me on the parole board, child. No, matter of fact, put me on a parole board. Oh, child, talk about tough. He wouldn't be sitting there trying to plead to me, and she talk about some. You saying all the right things.
Over the pandemic, and for me, that time when I learned that it was bittersweet because the reason it was sweet because I now acknowledge another problem that I had, and I could start fixing it. And what made it so bitter was when I thought about who my victims was, I thought about my kids and all the hurtful, embarrassing moments I sent them through, missing important times in their life that kids look for to have their parents, you know, to be their personal cheerleader, let them know that they proud of them. Like, first basketball games, first football games, daddy-daughter dances, honor roll banquets and things like that, even birthday.
He can't even say honor roll because he got too many parole boards. I can't do it. Child, they would not have me on a parole board, child, because nobody be getting out. Nope. You staying in there. Stay in there. I mean, because really, he has not proven that, he's gonna do right. He hasn't. So leave him in there, child. Let me pull this up for y'all, because child, y'all got to see this for yourselves. You have to see this for yourself. Because this is like, you got to see this for yourself. Hold on. All right, now I got to go back into, let me go in my history of what I was just watching. So I'm going to pull this up for y'all, because, can y'all believe it? Here it is right here, child. Hold on, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop sharing this screen right here, and then I'm going to show y'all this. Okay, wait, let me see. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, I'm subscribed. Okay, yeah. So I'm subscribed to this channel. Make sure y'all go and subscribe too. He plays some really good ones. And then, as you can see, he puts in like some music, puts in a little graphics, and he kind of gives you a little bit of the backstory about these cases. This guy's name is Reginald Batiste. He put his docket number and everything on. He got his docket number on here. Ciao. Y'all see this madness? Hold on, let me see. Let me put it in theater mode. Is that better? Okay, let me see, y'all. Hold on. Okay, let's look at this real quick. Okay, his name is Reginald Batiste. That's his docket number right there, child. Let me see if they got any other information on him. Nah, that's it. But he said he was in there for nonviolent drug offenses. So it don't look like he unalived anybody or whatever. But it just seemed like, I don't know. It just seemed like sometimes, when you do so much, it's like you're headed down that path anyway,
Holidays. And that broke my heart because
let me go back so y'all can see this whole side story, show.
Because I didn't escape route or scapegoat someone to blame my situation during my reign of results. Years in prison.
Y'all, he had a whole speech.
The board thought you needed to go.
Look at this lady. Y'all see this lady?
The board doesn't have a substance abuse problem. You do. And so you should go because of your own recognition that you need treatment, not because that's what the board tells you.
Yes, ma'am.
See, she said the right thing. I just would have said it a lot harsher than her. You know what I'm saying? She sounded real sweet and mother. She was actually kind of giving auntie vibes, Like, you need to do this. We're not the ones who did wrong. You did wrong. You need to do what you're supposed to do for yourself, not just because, you want to get out. He talking about, yes, ma'am. Now listen to his side story, child. But this lady up here in the right, child, she is eating it up. Just keep your eye on her.
You understand that?
I fully understand that, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Would you like to say anything before the board votes, Mr. Batiste?
Yes, ma'am. I understand in my life, I made a lot of bad choices, a lot of bad decisions, and a lot of bad mistakes. I made so many of those mistakes and bad choices. It landed me 10 years in prison, away from my kids. And at first, when I first caught this sentence, I was confused. I really didn't understand. But due to me doing these 10 years in prison and coming to this program and learning the things that I learned, it helped me recognize that the old me wasn't fit to be a father. The old me wasn't fit to be a husband. The old me wasn't fit for society. Because how can I be fit for society with the thinking pattern that I had? And how could I be a father and give good advice and set morals for my kids when I didn't even know if I was coming or going? Thinking like that. And I take full responsibility for everything that I did. And the things that I learned in this program, it helped me be a better father, a better spouse, a better person all the way around. It also helped me realize things that I need to stay away from once I re-enter society if I'm given that chance. And it also helped me realize if you implement certain things in your life, it can help you become a better person. Like for myself, I took some steps from the Alcohol Anonymous 12-step program and started implementing some of those things in my life. And so far I've been getting good results.
Yeah, y'all see his eyebrows? Y'all see how he's like scrunching up his forehead? He is really trying to make this believable. And this lady is totally believing it. Oh my God. Look how she's squinting her eyes. Like she is just really eating this up, y'all.
Like first starting realizing that I was powerless to my alcohol and drug addiction. Next, I needed to seek a power greater than myself and believe it could restore me back to sanity. After that, ask God to remove all my shortcomings because nothing's possible without God. And after that,
there they go.
Doing my reign of destruction as a...
Y'all already know we gotta throw God in there, okay, honey? You know they gotta do that, child. If you don't throw God in there, listen. You know we gotta throw God in there.
Add it and seek to make amends. The next thing that I had found to be very helpful for me was our risk factors, because risk factors is behavior and weaknesses that addicts seem to have but be afraid to admit to. So what I did was took those risk factors, the ones that I felt like apply to me while being honest to myself at the same time, and started working on those things to help me become a better version of myself, not just for my sake, but for my kids' sake. And those risk factors was blame, because I was blaming my situation on any and everybody except for the person who was at fault, which was myself. The next one was justify. I tried to justify all my actions, like, or I'm selling drugs because of this, or I'm getting high because of this, when in fact it was just BS. Next was denial. I was denying that I even needed help or even had a problem. After that, the next risk factor was lack of accountability, not owning up to my wrongdoing or my mistake, always looking for an escape route or scapegoat, someone to blame my situation on. And after that was negative peer groups. I had a lot of negative people around me that just was bad for company all the way around. And after that, one of the most important things I learned was a course that I took within this program was victim awareness. The reason why victim awareness was so important to me, because like one of the board members stated in 2020, I remember having having a hearing over the telephone. I never made it face to face.
Why is she shaking her head so much? Oh, that's making me mad. It's making me mad, y'all. Oh my God. She is really just like, she's really eating this up. Oh, that's making me mad. I'm just like, oh, I want to say, stop shaking your head. He lying, girl. He lying. Stop shaking your head.
Face with you guys, I was having a telephone hearing, and I remember one of the board members asking me a question, and it kind of threw me for a loop. I understood it, but it threw me for a loop because I didn't have much knowledge on the question he asked me. And the question he asked me was, Mr. Baptiste, how you feel about your victims? And I was kind of puzzled because I was like, wait a minute, I'm not a violent crime offender. I'm a non-violent drug offender. Not knowing at the time, which I learned in this program, that there's no crime that could be committed that's not gonna have victims. Your victims could be your family, your friends, your neighborhood, or even yourself. And that kind of blew my mind too, because I didn't even know you could be a victim of your own crime. And the next thing this program has taught me was, your victim's not always gonna be people who you dislike, don't know, had conflict or confrontation with. Your victims can in fact be people who you love, who you hold close to your heart. And in my case,
that's what it usually is. It's usually the ones that you love and are close to you, or you claim to love, right? And look at y'all see how she got her head just propped up like she's just hearing the best story of her life. Like she's got her eyes squinted, like he is just so dreamy and just, oh, he's saying all the right things. This is pissing me off. Oh, it's making me mad. Lady, you can't just be buying these lies like this. It can't be this easy to like scrunch up your face, look remorseful, put on your sad eyes, say all the right things that you were taught to say so you could get past the parole board, but actually show nothing. This is crazy.
My victims was my family, which is my children, my mother, and my grandmother. Up into the time me losing my mother to a heroin overdose and my grandmother to this.
And his mom was on drugs. Y'all look at the cat.
Me, that time when I learned that it was bittersweet, because the reason it was sweet because I now acknowledge another problem.
Y'all look at the cat.
And I could start fixing it. And what made it so bitter was when I thought about who my victims was, I thought about my kids and all the hurtful, embarrassing moments I sent them through, missing important times in their life that kids look for to have their parents, to be their personal cheerleader, let them know that they proud of them. Like first basketball games, first football games, daddy-daughter dances, honor roll banquets and things like that, even birthdays and holidays. And that broke my heart because I remember experiencing times like that of disappointment with my father. If I may elaborate, I remember
Mr. Anderson, Miss Baptiste, I think we've gotten a pretty clear picture of you.
Yeah, he was gonna keep on going till they changed their mind. Okay, he's like, I'm laying it on thick, child. Okay, he said he gonna keep on going with this sob story because he like that lady right there. She eating it up, so I'm gonna keep on going. Look at her. Like, don't stop him. It was just getting good. Like, girl, bye.
Your recovery journey. I really do. And I don't think we've had anyone articulate the program as well as you have. I appreciate hearing about all the steps.
You know what that tells me, y'all? Y'all know what that tells me? He could so-called talk this good and articulate the program so good, but they have made absolutely no impact. They've not changed him at all. All he did was just learn how to be a better manipulator. That's it. He's learning the language. He's learning how to do it, how to seem remorseful, saying all the right things. Oh, my victims was my kids. They missed all the things, and then, but it was done to me, And you just go and you do the same thing. And this lady right there, y'all, she making me mad. I just want to blank out her screen, child. Because, why are you eating this up like this?
I appreciate how much you've incorporated that into your personal thinking. So I appreciate your comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is the board ready to vote? All right, Ms.
She gonna vote.
Mr. Baptiste, you was talking about some of the things. You never been involved in anything except drugs. And that's been giving me a problem this whole hearing. When I asked you about you told me it was 2016 with your disciplinary. Then I had to pull it out of you to find out about your disciplinary. Well, back in 2009, you had an aggravated battery with a dangerous weapon, 3 counts. Things like that there is something.
But he just said, did he not just say that he was nonviolent? Did y'all hear him say that, or is it me? Now I am a little distracted. I'm here writing, but I could have sworn that I just heard him say he was nonviolent. Now that it's coming up, yeah, you are violent, sir. It's your lying self. Oh,
rehabilitation.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Lying.
Today, my vote is going to be to deny your parole. I'm voting to deny because of the DBs in 2020. You're for supervision, and you've been on supervision 5 times. Your criminal history, you're a 5th offender with a moderate risk. That is my vote. Thank you.
Ms. Swines.
Mr. Baptiste.
You better not. Y'all. Hold on. She bet not say nothing stupid. She bet not. I just feel it in my spirit that she is gonna say something that's gonna make me mad. Let's listen.
Trying to take a chance on you. My vote is to grant. Because you completed Steve Hall and you have positive comments from the staff there. And as special conditions, I want you to report weekly to probation parole for the first 4 weeks. Do 3 AANA meetings a week and do community service of at least 3 hours a quarter, because you are very articulate and you can really share your story. And I think you would touch
because you can really lie. You can really lie. That's what she's saying. Like, you can really lie. You make it sound real good. That's all he's doing. He's not helping nobody. He can't even help himself. He can't help his children. Man, please. Oof.
But that is my vote. Best wishes to you, sir.
Thank you.
I ain't surprised she wasn't like, call me after this. Because that's how much she was just eating up everything he said. Like, call me. Because you make it sound real good. You real articulate. Okay. And he just articulated a whole bunch of lies. That's how articulate he is. Girl, bye.
Ms. Baptiste, I was very impressed with your articulation of the program. You've really gotten a lot out of it, and I can see that.
Y'all see the bar is low. The bar is in hell. Okay? Because how are they impressed?
I would be willing to take a chance on you as well. And my vote would be to grant your parole. But I think that because you have a moderate risk score, that may make you ineligible for a 2/3 vote. Is that correct, staff?
God, I hope so. Don't let him out.
That is correct.
All right. So you're.
Look, he just knew, y'all. Look, y'all see, y'all. He just knew. He knew he was in there. He just knew he was in there. He said, "Oh, I got this one. She over there eating it up, giving me compliments on how I speak." Child. Oh, yeah. He can. Daryl, he lying good, right? He had the eyebrows. Look at his face. He looks real sorry. Look at him. Oh, look at it. It's just your boo-boo. Yeah, she's just so sorry. No, he not. Oh, child.
Is to deny.
Hold on, I gotta see that face again. Y'all gotta see.
But listen at me, Miss.
Now he talking about. Now he got his hand on his heart.
Is that correct, staff?
No, he ain't got his hand on his heart. Like, he just devastated.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
All right. So the vote today is to deny. But listen at me, Mr. Baptiste.
If y'all don't come and get him, y'all, ooh, you think he practiced that? Like, okay, what's gonna be my devastated response if they deny me? Ooh, my heart. Oh, you know that lady was like, dang, they ain't let my boo out. My boo was sounding real good, y'all. He was sounding good. And they just denied my boo.
See your disappointment. I see.
Now he act like he can't breathe.
I see kind of your shock. But bear in mind that if y'all don't come and get this man, if y'all don't come and get this man right now, no, he ain't shaking. Y'all, no, he ain't did one of them. I done seen it all. I done synced it all. Hold on, let's go back a little bit because this is some good acting. Okay, somebody need to give him a, what? Oh my God. The vote today is to deny. But listen at me, Mr. Baptiste.
Look at him shaking, y'all.
Disappointment. I see kind of your shock.
Not them finger shaking.
Bear in mind that you have a release date in a little over a year.
If y'all don't come and get this man, if he start crying, that's it. I'm logging out. Okay, I'm shutting it down. If this man really try to pull some tears, because I really feel like that's where he going next. Y'all, did y'all not see this? Oh, child. And this lady, look, She can't stand to see it. Oh, I can't stand to see my
And
boo.
don't let this be an excuse. Remember you talked about excuses and blaming other people. Don't let this be an excuse for you
no,
to
he's
go
still
back
shaking his fingers. He's still shaking his fingers. Yo, he's doing this. You think he did that when he was, what did he do? Pull a knife on somebody? You think he was doing that? No, the person he probably pulled a knife on did that. Child, please.
And mess up again,
Look at her
okay?
fingers.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take your hand down. Let me see your face. Okay?
He's trying to get some tears. He's trying to get get his fingers in his eyes somehow so he can make those eyes water. That's what he is trying to do.
All right.
Can I say something?
No, you can't. All right. But you're denied today. Good luck to you, Mr. Baptiste.
New Orleans police say they've arrested a man they believe shot and killed another man in the French Quarter last night. Katie and Charisse, NOPD arrested 37-year-old Reginald Baptiste in connection to that homicide in the French Quarter Sunday night, and it was all caught on camera. A nearby business shared this surveillance with me. Watch closely. You see the man in yellow. You see what looks like a scuffle, and then you see the man.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna make myself a little smaller so y'all can see this better. Hold on. Oops, hold on. My bad, I did that backwards. Okay, hold on. Hold on, y'all.
In the yellow, pull out a gun and point. NOPD says the shooting happened in the 500 block of Bienville Street just after 8:30 p.m. NOPD says officers who were patrolling in the area heard gunfire. When they arrived, they found a man with multiple gunshot wounds. That man died at the scene. NOPD says they saw someone fleeing, and when they caught up with the man, they learned he was a suspect in the shooting. As you noted, WWL Louisiana reported on the shooting Sunday night. Our Lily Cummings was out there and said there were at least 200 people on Decatur Street, which intersects with Bienville at the time.
Yeah.
NOPD says Baptiste was arrested on one count of second-degree murder. This afternoon, his bond was set at $1 million. The victim's family told me they aren't ready to speak publicly.
And you heard correctly. Now, that happened on May 6, 2024, which would have been 11 months after he would have been released on his good time date, June 3rd of 2023. That's how long it took for him to kill someone. And here's what happened. Here's what went down.
I rest my case.
A suspect was arrested on one count of second-degree murder after allegedly killing a man in French Quarter Sunday night, according to New Orleans Police Department. Reginald, who has been arrested and booked into New Orleans Parish Justice Center Correction with the fatal shooting. They responded to a call at 8:38 p.m. where they found the victim suffering multiple gunshot wounds. He was declared dead at the scene. While fleeing the scene by foot, the suspect stripped off his shirt, discarded his handgun, and then officers caught him where else but in Rick's Cabaret Strip Club on Bourbon Street, detained him for further questioning.
Yeah, he went to the strip club after that. Y'all, he went to the strip club after that. But he in there talking about, I'm so devastated. Just a shaking and everything. Child, he done shot somebody multiple times and went to the strip club. And he talking about I'm a non-violent drug offender.
His clothing and handgun were found and collected as evidence.
Y'all be believing him, child. I don't be
I'm
believing
sure
him.
Many of you know, he is still sitting there. And he is not one of the escapees this time. Now, the time that he escaped, the way that he kind of like blew it off to Mr. Mirabella, and it's quite interesting how he, that Mr. Mirabella interview that he had was awful. You heard what he was telling to Mr. Mirabella, and it is also quite fascinating at the contrast between you heard what Mr. Mirabella heard from the man, where he just flunked his interview with him, and then with that whole, orchestrated speech that he gave there that left Miss Wise and Miss Bonnie Jackson saying, you know what, we should parole. And I thought it was a pretty good speech. Although when I take a step back, there was a whole bunch of lies that really did stick out with me, and it was mostly that he had no substance abuse plan. And it's like, how do you go through the snake oil program, take all of these programs, and not at least know whether you mean it or not, but know to say that you're going to go to AA and NA and things like that. It's like, really? Like you had this speech written down, but you forgot to say that, and Jim Wise picked up on it. I think this was like my second hearing that I appreciated that he was there and liked what he said. Although I would make the argument, and I might sound like a Connecticut parole board by stating this, but he had served a lot of time, and he did do everything the parole board asked him to do.
Did he?
Gonna get out anyways in like a couple of years,
in a year
or something. So again, I'll sound like the Connecticut Parole Board. It would have made sense to release him. Without knowing that he was going to go and shoot someone right away. You know, you have the supervision, you put in all the work. Why not? You know, why keep you there for another year? But Jim Wise, probably does look wiser with this decision. I think,
and he does.
Say that it wouldn't made any difference, and I think he was pulling a quick one when it's all said and done. He's just a master manipulator, maybe. I mean, how funny was it at his first parole hearing? His girlfriend shows up, but he has written down that he's going to his wife's house, and Jim Wise calls the girlfriend the wife's name.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that. Oh my god!
I couldn't tell what was happening there, but we saw she didn't show up for the second parole hearing, and imagine finding out that your man is playing you at a parole
hearing, y'all. That's
crazy. Why do women go after like men? It's like a fifth felony offender, all these years in prison. Why? How do you even have a girlfriend and a wife? What is going on? It's so insane.
See, like he just got so much time to just perfect his manipulation game. You know, he's like perfecting it, and then he can see the responses. He's even able to fool the ladies on the parole board. You know. And they're just like, "Oh, you're just so articulate." Like, okay, so he can lie good. You know, like you said, Daryl, so he can lie good. So, you know, then you just eat it all up. Like, and it just, y'all, it aggravates me when women really like buy this stuff, you know? Like the facial expression, you know, the shaking, the, you know, acting all devastated and holding his heart like he about to just croak out, you know, because it's just so much like, oh, I just can't handle it, you know. Dude, you are not trying to do any better. Just not at all. And then just straight up lying, I'm non-violent. But then you see him doing violent things. Oh Lord,
so insane. And I think everybody would agree with me on that. I can't imagine that there's a very large percent. Anyways, I digress. Let's go to the escapee where he told Mr. Mirabella, "Oh yeah."
Look at his lineup of characters. Y'all look at it. Look at his lineup.
Mistake. This was a full-on escape. Reginald Batiste left Washington Center. Okay.
So this was a whole other escape. See, so he was saying at the beginning, which I kind of low-key caught it, but he decided he was going to review this case because of the recent escapees that, you know, escaped from jail. And I don't know if it's even the same jail. I wonder if it's the same jail. I don't know. But that's crazy if it is the same jail and they just like, you know, this happened like in 2012 or something, I think it said. And then and then now again in 2025. I mean, you would think that they would at least get a little bit better about securing these jails so people won't just be able to break out like that. Did y'all see like those signs that they put on there? Like they was taunting the police, talking about too easy. And like they wrote all on the wall and everything, y'all. Like that's just crazy.
Jail on Sunday evening has been captured by Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office deputies, blah, 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 blah. On Tuesday, about 2:45 p.m., the upper levels inmate housing and intake processing facility under construction next to the temporary housing, or TENS, where the escape occurred less than 2 days earlier.
Oh.
Washington apparently cut through the exterior of the tent at the jail and fled Sunday about 9 p.m. with his 2 accomplices. Our Prince Reginald here. According to the sheriff, investigators apparently reviewed the jail security camera footage after the breakout and spotted the 3 men scaling the inner security fence topped with razor wire and climbing through the top of one of the tents. Deputies searched the area surrounding the tents and discovered an orange prisoner's jumpsuit. On Monday about 2:10 a.m., they caught Battle, and 30 minutes later they nabbed our Prince Batista after searching several known residents. Meanwhile, the sheriff personnel determined that Washington, this was a 3rd guy, was likely injured. They eventually caught him. Now, Washington in battle with 1 count. In Louisiana, the crime is punishable with between 2 and 5 years in prison, provided that each sentence doesn't run concurrently to any other. And that's for simple escape. An aggravated escape is 10 years. So depending on what they charge the inmates that escape Louisiana jail now, I don't know what class. I don't think that their escape breaking through and running out would be classified as aggravated, because this seems like they didn't hurt anyone when they were escaping. So there's not a huge punishment to get 5 years for your sentence to escape when you're facing 20 years or life. And as it turned out, it didn't really affect him, because the good time, I mean, did you catch the difference in how much time he owed in the first hearing versus how much time he had afterwards? I think he knocked off like more than half of it. But the new governor has changed how good time works. So, it's really the way good time worked before was really kind of funny, a real gimmick of how sentencing works, because you basically could earn a day, even when you're on parole, you're earning good time. You're earning 2 days good time for every day you're out on parole. That makes sense. But yeah, so he was caught. And this, by the way, so if you're wondering, how are there so many escapes? They actually have. That's what
I'm wondering. Like, how? How's this happening?
Let me see if I can read through it. So it was because it was after Hurricane Katrina, so they weren't housed, but it's under statute, habitual offender statute.
Like, you can understand that like longer ago, but like it's 2025 now, and it's like people are still able to escape easily like this. It just doesn't make sense.
Narcotics, you got consecutive 2-year sentence for simple escape, and they gave him a deal, 2 years instead of the 5. Washington had been booked in January. Batiste, Washington, and Batter are at least the 7th and 8th and 9th escapees from Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office custody since April. Since April, they had 9 escapees. So again, this was written in 2012. And now they have 10 escapees at one shot. 10, a little more than 10 years later. All about one of the 9 escapees are at the jail at the time frame started in the tents, which were in construction in 2006 to deal with extensive damage to the sheriff facilities after Hurricane Katrina. 3 inmates broke out of the tents in April and May, one of them by cutting a tent, a 4th blocked off a community service detail in May, prompting a search and lockdown at a nearby school. In August, alleged purse snatcher Larry Ard broke out of jail by snipping a hole in the tent. Records court records do not show that he has been captured. Can you imagine living in a tent in Louisiana in August? That's probably awful.
Oh, yeah, I bet that's miserable.
Then on October 4th, 43-year-old Reuben Martin fled from the jail grounds. The sheriff office hasn't publicly disclosed exactly how Martin got out, but he was being held. And can you imagine again being the sheriff and dealing with all these escapes? How embarrassing. Guzman has said that the tents were properly staffed on Sunday. He had previously denied the jail had a security problem. Nothing to see here. Each escape is an isolated incident. You can get away with it.
They be trying it.
Social media. I think now that's part of the difference.
Oh,
Trying
was I not showing you full screen? I'm sorry, guys. What a pain. I do that sometimes. The under construction building in Washington was found with fire. But as you can see, quite an embarrassment for New Orleans then. But they got away with it. The sheriff, all they have to do is say, nothing to see. Don't worry. 9 escapes in a few months. No big deal, ladies and gentlemen. No big deal. Anyways, we'll keep covering jail escapes. We have a lot of them. Let me show you what Sir Richard and Lady Holly put together for us. So these are the escape tabs. So up here we have, make sure I'm sharing it properly this time. This is the spreadsheet. So up here, right?
You got a spreadsheet, y'all.
So we've caught 1, 2, 3, 4. You have all their crimes, by the way, are crazy. You have this guy has 3 escapes in his jacket. One of them was when he was a juvenile. Armed robbery, attempted murder, carjacking. Imagine having carjacking in your jacket. They caught him though. How he didn't, or why he didn't carjack someone else is they're saying a miracle. This guy has 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 2 counts of manslaughter, and there was a 5th body that he was found not guilty for. He killed his godfather. Sorry, he was alleged to have killed his godfather. His father actually testified in court against him, but the jury found him not guilty. So a guy with 5 bodies that he's related to killing is still out there. This person's murder, question mark, narcotics, because he's caught.
I'm trying to see the spreadsheet too.
All of these records right here are people who have escapes in their jackets. So we're going to go through them one by one. And you can check out the jail breakout playlist if you want to see the others.
He got a jail breakout playlist, Joe.
So check out that playlist. And with that, I'll let you go.
I was confused. I really didn't understand. But due to me doing these 10 years in prison and coming in this program and learning the things that I learned.
Yeah, he had that soft music on though.
The old me wasn't fit to be a father.
How this new you supposedly is not fit to be a father either, child. Get it together. Get it. Oh God, look at this one. Let's look at this one, y'all.
Told me and my brother, I'm finna break y'all out of jail. And he left. And then next thing we heard a gunshot. And he come around there with a shotgun, and started opening the jail, saying he's busting us out of jail.
And we are about to watch the commutation hearing of a Louisiana man who back in 1988 with his brother and accomplice escaped from jail. Now, unlike what's happening today with the 10 inmates who escaped Louisiana jails,
look at this lineup of characters. Look at this line up. Y'all. Every last one of them look like they need to be under the jail. Do y'all see this mess? Every last one of them. He looks semi-decent. This guy Linton. But the rest of these guys, child. I wouldn't even want to be nowhere where they at. I would cross the street. I would just, child, no. They all look, oh God, look at, you know what? Let me not talk about people. I'm gonna stop talking about people. But they all look pretty scary, okay? They all look like they into some foolishness. Every last one of them. So they didn't capture it. And then, Daryl, you said one of them was unalived. That one, Jermaine, he looked real dangerous. He looked like he beat women. Half of them, well, more than half of them look like they do that. Child,
Escape involved murdering in cold blood the lone jailer. Now, I have been covering the escapees of Louisiana jail. There is a playlist below if you want to see that coverage. But what we're going to do...
Hold on, y'all. Let's see where he got the playlist. I want to see what he just said about them. Let me see. Where the playlist at? He escaped Louisiana to Mexico. Now he has parole. Lord. My daughter made it up. Oh my God. We might need to see that one, y'all. Which one y'all want to look? Which one y'all want to listen to? What is this? Man Baby takes the epic parole hearing beat down. Not the Man Baby. I gotta see. Let me see the Man Baby.
You blame everybody else for everything that you've been through. It's time for Willie Brown to accept responsibility
Look at that face.
For himself, for his own life.
Look at that face. Y'all see that face? I'm telling y'all, look, I can spot him. I can spot him from far away. Like, you could just look at his face. Look how he has his arms crossed. He's in a parole. He's asking for parole. And he's sitting there, sitting back in his chair too, y'all. Like, do y'all see the attitude on this one? Yeah, let's watch this one.
I don't blame anybody for things that I go through.
So you blamed the girlfriend because she wanted to put you in jail. You blamed the parole officer because for one of the tickets. Everything was everybody. You didn't go to court. You didn't go to court because it was too far. Ooh, you're in prison. You didn't want to go from Meriden to Hartford. The ride was too long. Like, seriously. I mean, it's just poor decision on top of poor decision, sir. It's too much. You have to do something differently. You do. You're going to be in prison for the rest of your life.
He's not going to. Look at him. He is not going to. She's saying you have, she's nearly pleading with him, y'all. He is not going to do anything different. This one, this looks like one of them guys. They're going to be and still doing just dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? You just be like, dude, you're 60 now. You're 75 years old. Why are you still doing this stupid stuff? You know, that's the type he is. You could just look at him and tell.
You think that the way that you're handling your situations is the right way.
We have a nickname for men who come up and have this type of parole hearing, and that is the Man Baby. And we are about to watch a Man Baby parole hearing for a Man Baby who doesn't seem to be able to have any insight to take accountability. We're also going to hear from a victim who joins the tag team and drops a mic on his parole dreams. And I'll unpack it with what details we have at the end.
Willie Brown, 339-454.
This hearing is being
I ain't coming there with no cane.
The parole application for Willie Brown, intake number 339454. He's serving a sentence of 3 years jail and 3 years special parole, followed for criminal possession of a firearm and assault third. As of today, records reflect the parole eligibility date of July 11th, 2024. There is victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. However, the offender has not completed any program. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score on the SRT falls within a high range of risk for recidivism. This is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. I
believe I should be granted parole because at this present time I have learned a valuable lesson.
No,
I would like to become a part of society. This is not something that I would like to continue to do. Meaning coming back and forth in and out of the prison. I would like to do things in the community as work, start businesses. These are things that I've wanted to do for a while, but I never knew how to do it. I want to take care of my kids. I don't want to be here. I love my kids more than anything.
I don't believe it. Y'all believe it? I don't believe it.
I was going to say, well, Mr. Brown, I thought you're done with your statement. You can continue.
I would love to be home with my kids. I have 3 boys and a girl. And right now, some of my boys are acting up due to the fact that I'm not home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to go through the things that I went through. If I can spare them from that, I would love to.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brown, for that statement, sir. I know that you've been before the parole board before. So we do have victim input on your case. So when we're done with our questions, we'll turn the hearing over to our victim's advocate, and then we will deliberate and review our decision, okay?
Okay.
Best of luck to you, sir. Mr. Rodriguez will begin with the questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Good morning.
Thank you for your opening statement. A few things that I didn't hear from it. One was any kind of response to any victims in this particular case, and there was one. Also, we're looking for your suitability to come out, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
kind of what we really need to know is what changes you've made since you've been there in yourself that would tell us
He ain't made no
it
changes.
would make sense for us to release you today. And I didn't hear much of that either. And
I want to see the exact spot where you see how he's sitting right now, right? He thinks that there's hope. But once he sits back, crosses his arms, and gets his attitude. Now I feel like that's the true him. This right here is somebody who's trying to pretend to be what he needs to get what he wants. But he's not even like the other guy. He's not even smart enough to know exactly what to say, how to say it, how to look remorseful, how to manipulate in just the right way, how to see, how to do the whole acting thing. He doesn't have it like the other guy has it. So you can see why when they compare the two, like if you could compare the two, the last guy that was on here and this guy, then you think, oh man, the other guy is so much more articulate. He's this and that, right? When you're comparing the two, but they both are liars, they're both manipulators, just doing what they have to do and saying what they have to say to get out. It's just one was a little bit smarter about his tactics, but this guy, like, look at his forehead. Look how he has his forehead scrunched up, child. You could tell a whole lot, like right in here, like this whole spot, the way they do their eyebrows and their forehead and stuff, the way their eyes, like, child, you could tell a lot. Sometimes I watch these channels, like these behavior analysis channels and stuff like that, where they evaluate like people's body language, like, how they have like little ways you can tell if someone is, lying. Not that you can like definitively tell, but there are like telltale signs, right? So I watch channels like that, and like they really educate you on different things to watch out for. Some people just like you just don't pick up on those nonverbals, for whatever reason, like maybe, you just haven't been taught, how to pick up on nonverbal communication from people, but, they teach you a lot of that stuff on those behavior analysis channels. And like the way people say things, their body language, how you see how he's sitting right now versus when he first came on, they showed like that snippet of what's to come, how he was all, real standoffish. He was like, he was withdrawn. He was like blocking. He was like holding something in, like that's how he was lying based on his body language. And he had already kind of like shut down. He wasn't really, he wasn't going to say anything, like he wasn't trying to sugarcoat it anymore, let's put it that way. And to me he looked like he was combative, but let's see like how this escalates, because you could tell like there's a very stark difference between how he is right now and how he's gonna be. Let's see.
Concerns that I have in your particular situation are, one, the nature of your current offense, which is around firearms, and we have so many people being killed today on the outside. I'm sure you've heard it and are aware of the things that are going on the outside today, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm concerned about your prior history, which involves, several different charges of owning a firearm or owning a weapon. And that concerns me very much. And I didn't hear anything about how all that gets resolved for you. So you're not moving into that anymore in the future. And the other area, it's your area of your poor adjustability to being there because you've got tickets that you've earned recently. You have recent tickets. So those are kind of like the three or four areas that I'm concerned with. Tell us, why should we consider letting you go today?
Okay, well, since I've been in here, yes, I have not done any programs. I haven't been able to.
That was my fourth piece.
I haven't done any programs because I have not been able to.
Wow.
I wrote the counselor that administers the programs, and he stated that I had to be on the wait list. He had put me on the wait list. As far as my crimes, okay, when I was younger, I had no boundaries. I knew of no boundaries. So I felt as if whatever I did is just whatever I did. As I've gotten older, yes, I committed a crime. I was in possession of a firearm, something I shouldn't have been. I was home for 7.5 years. Not holding no firearms, no nothing. It was an act of stupidity for me picking up a firearm. I thought that I needed it. I didn't need it. I want to take classes. I want to do gun course classes. I want to do all of this stuff I want to refrain from anything that has to do anything with firearms. This is not something that it's an ongoing thing, something that I love doing. I don't like doing this.
But you realize that's not what your history shows. Your history shows that you have some sort of fascination with weapons because you had more than one charge.
This is my second gun charge.
I have done 5 weapon charges.
He says it like it's no big deal. This is my second gun charge. The guy was like, you have more than one. This is my second one. Like, it's not 3 or 4 or 5. This is my second one. Like, dude, no. See, I be like, go back to your cell. Go back. I don't want to talk to you no more. Go back to your cell, child. See, that's what I told you, child. Have me on the parole board. It's over. Okay, it's over. You ain't getting out.
I only got one.
In a car, having one. They may not have all been firearms, I guess. Maybe they're all different weapons.
The one in the vehicle was a BB gun. I was homeless at the time. I had nowhere to go, so all of my property was inside my car.
Excuses.
I don't have any others, only that one and 2 firearm charges. One from when I was 18, and the next one was this current one.
And it's not like you don't have a lengthy history, Mr. Brown.
Yes, I do.
You say young, but you go back, 22, 23, I thought years, 2022, 2023, 2019. You weren't a kid then.
2022, I call mostly motor vehicle charges and the
He said mostly.
Well, and here's another area for me. You had 7 different community types of releases. You failed at each one. You didn't make it through each one.
Every time I did fail for probation was the driving without a license, driving under suspension.
I think there were other charges that you had underlined that were not just auto charges or vehicle charges.
It was when
Are you hearing my concern though with your situation?
I do.
I have to take
No, he ain't hearing it.
You've got 2 DRs that you have this year. One in September, one in March for fighting. We're looking for some real positive change to consider you coming out because you've got some real serious charges. I didn't hear anything about what the situation with your victim.
I didn't even know that this parole hearing was concerning her because I had gotten sentenced to a year for that. And upon that, I have been talking to her. We've been text messaging back and forth.
I don't know, hurt. You punched her. You punched a person, another person. You're charged with assault third.
Wait a minute. What you mean they've been texting back and forth? Y'all, what you think he mean by that? He really texting his victim from jail? Is that what's happening? Is that what I'm hearing here? Child, this is crazy.
What I read in the record. I think I read in the record it was another person who I thought was her boyfriend or...
No.
But you can hear my challenge, right? You hear what I'm concerned about, right? And we'll add to all of that, we'll add no programming.
All of
He don't have nothing to say.
And we have to take
nothing to say, y'all. Only that he just been keeping in contact with a previous victim from jail. How is that even allowed? Y'all see it starting to go downhill.
Consideration. That's a consideration that we have to make.
Going downhill quick.
I do all of this. Like I said, I know I did wrong. I did things wrong. I did things that I know I shouldn't have done. And
come on, make it believable.
The thing with my baby mom at the time,
make it believable.
We was going through some things, and on both sides, it was just aggravations. I'm willing to correct that. I want to come home and I want to do cognitive behavior programs. I want to do programs.
Nope, do them in jail.
I don't mind doing programs.
Do them in jail then.
I want to do anger management.
Do it in jail.
I want to do all of these programs. But since I've been in here, I haven't been able to because they keep telling me I'm on the wait list.
Well, you just gonna have to wait.
The wait list is long in here.
And you just gonna have to wait.
There's nothing that we can do about that either. But for me, and I want to be upfront with you, you know, you've heard my concerns. 7 times you've been out, hasn't worked out for you. You've got a significant prior history that involved other weapon offenses. This is another weapon offense. You have 2 recent DRs. You have more than 2, but we look at kind of the last 5. You had some last year as well in September as well. You had a contraband, Pruno. You've had those things happen. And on some level, when you spoke to the PO and you did the interview, you blamed her. You said she was trying to put you in jail. Right now for me, it doesn't look good in this particular situation. I've kind of asked the question that I wanted to ask. I'm going to pass it on to my colleagues. I wish you a lot of luck, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Y'all see,
Mr. Brown,
he getting mad.
Some letters of support.
Look, y'all, he getting mad. He sat back.
Members.
Y'all see it. Y'all see his body language changing. Look at him. Look at his face. He ain't like that. And he kept trying to interrupt the guy, but he just couldn't get a word in. Because, what is he going to say? Like, what are you going to say? You haven't done anything. And if the programs, if you're on a waiting list for programs and you can't get in the programs, you just going to have to wait. But you're going to have to get them programs before you get out of here, before you can go home, sir. That's just how that goes. Okay. But y'all see his body language changing. It's about to get real.
So it sounds like it looks like you have some support in the community. And I also heard you express your concerns with regard to your children, basically following in your footsteps. And those are all, I guess really should be concerned because, was your father ever in your life?
No.
And so now you're in prison and you realize that when you're in prison, you're not in your children's lives.
Yes.
So it sounds like a little bit of a cycle there.
And I want to correct it because I don't want my kids to go through the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm sure your mother didn't want you to go through the same thing. And I'm sure she tried to talk you out of it and to lead you the right way. Listen, Mr. Brown, at a certain age, I'm going to say at 6 years old, you began, before that, honestly, but we'll say 6 years old, you know the difference between right and wrong, right?
Yes.
Or, you know, if you touch the fire, you're going to get burned, kind of thing. If you go out in the middle of the street, you're going to potentially get hit by a car. You know right from wrong. You don't need people to tell you that carrying weapons is the wrong thing to do, right?
Listen.
Yeah. So your children, they know right.
He does act really childish.
It's unfortunately the choice.
Like, isn't his like his main residence is really like is really childish. He's really giving like he's pouting, you know, and that is so unbecoming.
That we make that, you know, make us deviate off that path of doing the right thing. And I would honestly argue that you really haven't changed, Mr. Brown,
at all.
And the reason why you haven't been able to participate in programs in the facility is because you keep getting tickets, you know, and some of these tickets were very avoidable. Disobeying a direct order, flagrant disobedient, yelling obscenities at the correctional officer because you were blocking your cell window or something. I mean, honestly, having Bruno just this April, it just shows poor decision after poor decision here. And when my colleague asked you, said to you that you have 5 gun charges, let's go over those. So you have this charge that occurred in 2023, right? Where you were at the stop sign, they pulled you over, the gun was under the seat, right? You have that. And then in 2022, I showed that you were in Hartford and the shot spotter picked you up, showing that you had fired 20. There were 20 shots fired between you. You were shooting at a Nissan.
It wasn't me, but
it wasn't me.
Said.
So that's 2, right? And then you had a weapon in a motor vehicle in 1999. I mean, in 2019. What was that?
Stupidity.
What was it? What? Okay. So now we're up to 3. And how about a weapon in a motor vehicle in 2020?
That was a BB gun in the trunk of my car. I was homeless at the time.
So now we're up to 4.
Always got an excuse.
And then you had a shotgun silencer in 2010.
No.
Yeah, that's 5. That's what your rap sheet shows, sir. That you had a shotgun silencer.
Oh wait. Y'all, I missed it. Hold on, I missed it when he crossed them arms. When she started reading off what he was doing, that's when he crossed them. Y'all, why y'all let me miss it? Hold on, them arms was going up then.
Shows,
look at him.
Poor decision after poor decision.
Y'all get like, you can see in his face, he is like a perpetual victim. Like, he is just like, everything's done to me, you know, like, it's just everything is so unfair. It wasn't me. I was just like, I didn't do it. You know, it's just like, ugh. And you could tell when she's reading off, obviously when she's reading off what he's done, then that's when he starts to shut down.
Here. And when my colleague asked you, said to you that you have 5 gun charges, let's go over those.
Cross his arm.
So you have this charge that occurred in 2023, right? Where you were at the stop sign, they pulled you over, the gun was under the seat, right?
Yes.
You have that. And then in 2020,
I don't like the way he looking at them. Y'all, what y'all think? I don't like the way he's looking at him. I'm taking his looks as a threat, to be honest. Look at him, y'all. Hold on, let me get a little bit bigger. Y'all see that face? Child. I would hate to be like in it, like, you know, like for him to be looking at me like that. Like, I would be scared. Like, dude, are you about to attack? He got that look like he just gonna, like he thinking about revenge or something.
2, I showed that you were in Hartford and the shot spotter picked you up, showing that you had fired 20. There were 20 shots fired between you. You were shooting at a Nissan.
It wasn't me, but That's what was being said.
So that's 2, right? And then you had a weapon in a motor vehicle in 1999.
It wasn't him, but that's what was being said. Dude, it was you. It was you. You was there. It was your gun. You was shooting. It was you, child. Just stop it.
In 2019, what was that?
Stupidity. What was it?
What? Okay, so now we're up to 3. And how about a weapon in a motor vehicle in 2020?
That was a BB gun in the trunk of my car. I was homeless at the time.
So now we're up to 4. And then you got
now we're up to 4.
A shotgun silencer in 2010.
No.
Yeah, that's 5. That's what your rap sheet shows, sir. That you had a shotgun silencer in 2010. You served 18 months for that. So that's
that was my very first gun charge. I didn't have one in 2019.
In 2019, you did. You just said that you had a firearm. We just talked about it.
I assumed that was the shotgun. That's what I was walking around with it in my pants.
Okay, so that was in 2010.
In his bands.
Right? So you had carrying a dangerous weapon in 2019, and in 2019 a weapon
was a knife.
motor vehicle.
Okay. The dangerous weapon was a knife.
Okay. So we're still up to 4 or 5.
Hold on, y'all. A Hartford man was arrested after he was found to be wielding a serrated kitchen knife, according to police. Police got an anonymous complaint about a man with a gun in the area of Liberty and Main Streets, April 16th, and that he was wearing gray shorts. Not the gray shorts, y'all. Suspects matching that description was found on Liberty Street and Fraser Avenue, along with 3 other people. An officer told the suspect to stop, but he kept walking towards the officer. Ooh, child. Not with the knife. He almost got himself on the line, child.
Sir. And a dangerous weapon. Why do you have a knife in your car?
It wasn't in my car. It was in my pocket.
Hold on. I told the suspect to stop, but he kept walking towards the officer, police said. He dropped the large, he dropped it. The kitchen knife. The suspect eventually stopped approaching and got on the ground when an officer pulled out his pistol. Yeah, you had to come with a bigger weapon. Huh. He would have kept on coming, child.
Then what was the weapon in the motor vehicle, sir?
The weapon in the motor vehicle was a BB gun.
You had 2 of them. You just told me it was a knife. You had a weapon in a motor vehicle in 2020 and a weapon in a motor vehicle in 2019, when you also got the carrying a dangerous weapon, and you're telling us it was a knife.
I had in 2019.
I'm listening.
In 2019, I got caught with a knife at Middletown. That was in my pocket.
Okay.
In 2020, I got pulled over. Well, I was sitting on the side of the road, and the police came and pulled behind me because I was in a no parking zone.
Okay. And you had a gun.
And they searched the car. They searched the vehicle, and there was a BB gun in the trunk of the car.
Okay.
Those are
the fact that. So do you you're arguing with us, well, with me, about the number of firearms that you had when you're not supposed to be in possession of any of them. No weapon. And so you're asking us, sir, to give you an opportunity to return to the community so that you
can go and terrorize the community some more.
You've had several opportunities to do that, and you've squandered them. In fact, you were on probation when you committed this offense for a violent offense. And that didn't stop you from going on and creating even more violent offenses.
The 2022 case was dismissed. That wasn't nothing that I was charged with it, but I didn't receive any.
What 2022 case are you referring to?
The shooting.
Just because you weren't charged with it doesn't mean you didn't do it. You have your record.
I didn't do it.
They said
yes, I have a record of carrying firearms. but I've never had a record of shooting any firearms.
They said that they saw you discharging the firearms, and there were 19 casings found out. Like, I mean, we do our homework. If we don't do anything else, we read your file, sir. And we can't go. We have to make our decisions based on the information that we have in front of us. And the information that's in front of us shows that you like to carry firearms, that you don't do well when you're out on supervision, you acquire firearms even under community supervision, you're non-compliant. I see the notes from your parole officer from your last one said that you had anger issues with him. But eventually you developed a rapport, but initially you were non-compliant and you didn't want to hear it from anybody. You're not doing well in the facility, you rate out extremely high, and you haven't participated in programs. There's nothing positive that I can discuss with you here today.
At all. His attitude ain't even positive.
For me to support your request for discretionary parole because you haven't shown us any evidence of change, sir. And it starts with you. It really does start with you. You blame everybody else for everything that you've been through. It's time for Willie Brown to accept responsibility for himself, for his own.
I don't blame anybody for things that I go through.
So you said you blamed the girlfriend because she wanted to put you in jail. You blame the parole officer because for one of the tickets. You blame. I blame
the parole officer.
I mean, not the correctional officer for your ticket. Everything was everybody. You didn't go to court. You didn't go to court because it was too far. You're in prison. You didn't want to go from Meriden to Hartford. The ride was too long. Like, seriously.
Look at his face. Look at his face, y'all. He was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, the man baby title definitely fits. It's giving man baby. Man baby, man baby, man baby. You know? Like, he's a victim. Like, it's almost like he has his bottom lip poked out. Like, he's really pouting. That's a sad situation. This guy is a parent, y'all. He is a father to someone.
Poor decision on top of poor decision, sir. It's too much. You have to do something differently. You do. You're going to be in prison for the rest of your life if you think that the way that you're handling your situations is the right way.
Okay.
Ms. Turner?
I want to just clarify a couple things with you, Mr. Brown. Kenesha is the mother of which child?
My last child, my daughter.
And she's 2?
Yes. Well, she's 3 now. She just turned 3.
What's her first name?
Her first name?
Your daughter.
Aaliyah.
And are you still involved with Kenesha?
Yes.
Okay, but you want to sponsor her to Shardae's house?
That's my other baby mother at the time. Yeah. At this point in time, Kenesha is she does housing. She's with she get housing assistance. So I won't be able to parole to her house.
Okay, so you're going to go live with your other child's mother?
Yes, for the time being. Up until I'm able to acquire me my own housing.
Excuse me, the first name of your 16-year-old is what?
Jaden.
And your 13-year-old?
Dominique.
Dominique. Okay.
Yes.
And your 6-year-old?
Celine.
How do you spell that?
SELIEM.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir. I have no more questions.
Thank you. At this time, our vice attorney hearing over to our victim's advocate. We ask that you please not interrupt and that you listen quietly. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Vasquez.
Good morning, thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, board members. We have a victim that is connected via conference, and she wishes to address the board. This is your opportunity.
I want to hear this.
For you to express to the board your wishes and concerns. At this time, please unmute your microphone by pressing *6, and you may begin.
Hello?
No, she didn't say hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Good morning, we hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, yes, I'm Stephanie. I'm the mother of his 5-year-old.
She bet not be like, he needs to get out so he can be a good father. He's not gonna be a good father. Okay, look at him. Is that the makings of a good father? No, it's not. But let's see what she got to say, child.
Concerns about Willie is that I don't feel like he's taking responsibility for his actions.
Girl, you better tell the truth. Okay. That threw me for a surprise, y'all, because I was like, she better not get in here and be trying to lie for her baby daddy. Because y'all know some of y'all really be trying it, y'all. You're like, I'm just going to get up there and lie for my baby daddy. But now she said, okay, ma'am. I hear you, sis.
And therefore saying that is because when the court took off the protection order because he was incarcerated, I did reach out to him and ask him would he like pictures of his son. He contacted me back being very rude and belligerent. Still incarcerated.
Yo, look at his face. He's like, look, he got them arms up high now. They sit up on top of his belly, y'all. Man, y'all, he's like, hey. I knew I should have gave her no baby. Yeah, he mad. He mad, y'all.
That's blaming me for the reason why he's in jail. He's not ready to take responsibility for his own actions and behaviors. And
mad.
It's concerning me that if he gets out on parole, he still has his same attitude towards me. So I don't feel like he's going to come home and be a father to any of his children. I would like to know if he took a...
Ain't that what I just said, y'all? Ain't that what I just said? He's not. Look at him. He's a man baby.
A fatherhood program, anger management program.
Look at his eyes getting big, y'all. Like, oh, she got the nerve. Look at him. He put hands on her. Y'all can't tell me otherwise. He put hands on her. I know he did. Look at him. Because she got the nerve to tell me, or to tell the board that I need fathering classes. I need parenting classes. Yeah, you do. He is mad, y'all.
IPD class. Because he needs these things before he can come out on the streets. I'm even considering of reinstating my protection order because I'm afraid that when he comes home, he has the same attitude. And who's to say if Willie Brown has a bad day, he might see me and attack me again. There's been several incidents when he attacked me, and that's what caused me to get sole custody of our son because he doesn't know how to be a father. He's in jail still, and I don't know why he's saying what he's saying because he's asking me for paternity because he's angry that telling people that I put him in jail.
Yeah.
I'm very concerned about...
He got all these offenses. They just went down all the things that he has done since he was like 18 or something like that. Like, probably even younger than that, right? No, he's probably... That was his juvie record, so they ain't gonna bring it up. Okay, fine. Right? He's done all this stuff, and he got the nerve to blame her for him being in jail. Y'all, if this ain't narcissism 101, do y'all see this? Sadly, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the whole like slavery thing mixed in with the whole religious thing. Like, that there's this belief that, Black people are chosen, that they've just been so done wrong, like religiously, spiritually, and all this stuff that we're just like, I don't even subscribe to that stuff. I'm gonna say they, okay, the ones who believe this, is that they're just so like divine that, you know, everything is just like done against them, even though this dude is clearly doing all his own dirt, right? It's like, how are you're against yourself at this point, you know? But that's that narcissism, to think that he's entitled to do whatever he wants to do without consequence, and that any consequences are someone else's fault. Like, look at him. Like, she has the nerve to say, I need parenting classes. You know, she's the one who put me in jail. You know, this B, you know, and I just know, just like I said, y'all, he put hands on her. You could tell by his demeanor. He gets active. He get active on that parole board if he ever had the opportunity. This is not a good dude.
About what he should be doing at this time. I'm not sure if he took any of these classes or what, but he definitely
Why is he blowing on himself?
He needs fatherhood.
Why is he blowing on himself? He trying to cool himself off. Did y'all see that? Let me go back like a couple seconds. Look at this.
Because he's assaulting too many women.
I don't know. I might not have gone back far enough.
And if you look at his record, he has restraining orders against plenty different women, even his mother, even his sister. So
not his mama done put a restraining order on him too. His sister. I told you, y'all gonna hear me what I say, child. I told you I could spot him a mile away. I could spot him a mile away, further away from that, child, because I don't even want him a mile close to me. I don't even want him that close. I can spot him. This dude is not a good dude. He's not even a good son. He's not even a good brother. His mom and his sister got restraining orders on him, y'all. Child.
Billy Brown really doesn't care who he assaults or put his hands on. He has anger issues, and they need to be dealt with before he comes home. And I'm listening, and I'm seeing that he's still being disobedient and defiant while still being incarcerated. And I don't want him to come home and put my son through any of the issues before.
And see, you know what's crazy? Like, him even hearing that, right? Hearing her concerns, hearing like the concern she has for her son, who more than likely will follow in a lot of those footsteps, sadly, right? But we see, like, you can see her concern, but he has it has no impact on him. He doesn't care at all. In fact, he's mad, y'all. This man is mad. Look at his forehead. Look how he blew on himself. He's rubbing his eyes. He's like shifting, and he's mad. And I know he probably wished right at that moment, if he could put hands on her right then and there, child, he would. That's crazy.
I don't know if you guys will listen to my intake or what, but I know that Billy Brown definitely
needs listen to her.
Help. And if he doesn't get help before he comes out to society, he's going to come back to be a menace.
She said he a menace to society. And look at his face, looking like a menace to society. Look. She said he a menace to society, y'all. Look at her. He's just going to put his head down.
That's basically all that I have to say.
He mad.
Thank you.
He mad, y'all.
I
can almost see like demon horns on his head, like right there, y'all. Like I can see him. This dude is a demon, y'all.
I think we're all on the same page in terms of Mr. Brown's request for discretionary parole. I think the victim's statement just put the icing on the cake.
Right.
I have his criminal history is very concerning to me. honestly, we could pick almost every reason for denial here. But I definitely would say there's inadequate evidence of offender change.
Constitutional justice.
Well, that and also, I don't want to negate the input from the victim. Yes. So, injury and practice.
So in criminal history, injury and impact, inadequate evidence of offender change, and for institutional adjustment.
And for special parole conditions, I have a no binding condition, no contact with the victim as an H without the parole officer's permission. I have domestic violence.
I have both. He has 3 years.
Okay.
And the victim's asking for it.
Anger management. Well, we can't skip into that, but we can do a mental health evaluation. There's something going on. I think that I saw somewhere that in one of,
violation of defense type mindset.
Yeah. So those are my conditions: domestic violence, anger management, no victim, no driving, and a mental health evaluation. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready with our decision, Mr. Brown. With regard to Willie Brown 339454, I move to deny his request for discretionary parole.
Deny.
Inadequate evidence of offender change, his poor institutional adjustment, and the injury and impact to the victim. I further move that the following conditions be set for his special parole conditions, as he has 3 years of that to follow his release. He is not to operate a motor vehicle. He'll participate in domestic violence with his intimate partner out in the community, an anger management program as well. He is not to have any contact with SH without the parole officer's permission, and he'll participate in a mental health evaluation and receive treatment as deemed necessary. Did I say everything?
Yes, I would just clarify that SH is the victim.
The victim, yes. Thank you. And is there a second? All in favor? All right, Mr. Brown, I know that this was a lot. You will receive all of this in writing shortly, sir. Good luck to you. Thank you.
No parole for Tate. None. Mr. Tate is not getting parole
because of anger issues. Doesn't it feel like you've seen one, you've seen them all? There's just something about a fully grown man and being a complete man baby, and particularly fun when it's 2 female parole board members that are giving him the smackdown, the right and the left. And I just wanted to jump in and say, how does it feel? How does it feel, right? And I got the shirt, we got the hat. If you want to join the No Parole for Tate Club, it is for sale on the channel. You can help the channel and have fun in the
No Parole for Tate.
And if you're on Instagram and you do get a shirt and a hat, DM me and tag it, and I'll give you a follow. I'll follow all who have the No Parole for Tate swag. But anyways, wow. I don't know, it's not funny, but it is. Just the mannerisms. Think about all those weapon charges. And did you see the clip there about the knife? And Discerning was before the holiday started. So this was October 11, 2024. I'm going through. We have literally hundreds of Connecticut parole hearings I still need to do. So I'm just going through them and tripping them in. And it's like just that story with the knife. I mean, you see this stuff on body camera and news. He's blocking. There's a call that he has a gun. It turns out it's a knife, and he walks straight up to the police officer. This is in his pocket. It's like and they have to pull out a weapon, and only then did he get on the floor. And he's just like charges of shooting of places, and it's like
that's what I said. Like, why is it that it was when they pulled out the gun that he gave that he stopped? That's crazy. Is that him? Like at the first one? At the first hit? What?
He broke down and cried, and I do think that there was, something hit home for him, and he did take it in, and you got to give him credit for that.
I'll be giving him no credit.
To hear it. I think it was hard for him to hear it. He didn't have an outburst. So if you're looking for the good,
I don't think it was manipulation or acting. I think that he did at that moment feel pretty crummy about himself. And I thought that he was listening to it for some time, but it's so, to think he's still a young guy. What is he? He's like 35 years old. It's not old, but it's, I guess he's too old for back in this way. He got his maximum sentence. It was 3 years. He's getting out, I don't know, 2026. And Sir Richard did put in it's 3 pages of offenses. And as you heard, I don't need to go over it. It is a lot. And the idea that you wouldn't even want to go to because it's a long drive. And I know those drives are a big pain. It ain't comfortable. It's prison, transport. But man, to refuse to do that. Anyways, that's all I got. So that, I'll let you go.
My name is Brigad DeVoe Royal. It's 440236.
Hearing is being conducted in consideration of the whole application.
Who is this dude?
Brigad DeVoe Royal, inmate number 440236. He is serving a sentence of 10 years executed suspended after 30 months jail with 5 years probation for 3 counts of violation of protective order, 2 counts of failure to appear first, 1 count of threatening second, and 1 count of failure to appear second. As of today, records reflect the full eligibility date of October 12, 2024. There is victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. It has been reviewed and it shows the offender has not completed any program. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score in the SRT falls within the moderate range of risk for recidivism. This is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should grant parole again.
I wanted to, I think I heard that you said that I didn't complete a program? Is that what I heard?
Yes, that is correct.
I completed tier 2.
No, you didn't.
I have a certificate.
When did you finish the program, sir?
I finished it, before I came to this jail. I finished it over in Paul Robinson with Mrs. Cuevas. And I have a midterm, and I have my completion term too.
That not be lying. You were removed from that program because you received a disciplinary infraction.
I have it completed. It shows she wrote the report about it and everything. It's on paper. I have it written.
RT screens that are completed. You do have your midpoint evaluation for tier 2. That's all.
I have the completion one too.
And tell us why you deserve parole, sir.
I've just been in a lot of mess with this whole entire case. I created a big mess, with the protective violation order. It's just not listening to the protective order. Not taking the law that. I was just making decisions without thinking of the consequences at the time, and the consequence that I got this time has just been a year and some change, and it's been a very, very tough ride, and something that I never want to do again. And it's actually humbled me. I learned a lot. I took some classes, and I went to AA and NA meetings and things like that. I learned things that I should be doing, like, in general, just like in the world, like as far as getting help for what I need. This time it made me realize.
Getting help. You have to be specific, sir. You're speaking in general. You're saying I learned some things from NA and AA that I'm going to use out in the community, and you have to be specific. What did you learn?
So things like my medication and things that are actually that you should be taking, like medication, therapy, that there is something that I need to address, and instead of just going on and living like there's nothing wrong with me, like so.
You're saying that addressing your mental health.
Mental health, exactly, absolutely. Absolutely.
And AA taught you that?
Well, everything taught me that, because you learn more than just alcohol and anonymous in those classes. You know, you from the outside come in and talk, and they say a lot of things. Everyone goes up and speaks their story and history and things like that. And you know, before I like to tell people that it's not me, it's just because I didn't want to feel like there was something wrong with me. But it's I just learned from there that it's okay to have something wrong, just to address it, you know. So as far as that, therapy and things like that, counseling, that's just going to be something that I'm going to do, because I do have a life that that is good for me. I work, I have my own, I came to Connecticut with my own business. I opened a Denver Mall in 2021, skincare company. I did a lot of things, and I just ruined it with this. So I just ruined it, just completely. And it's, I'm 30 years old, so I don't have time to screw up anymore, you know. It's just, yeah.
So I appreciate that information. Is it okay if I call you Mr. Royale?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I do know that I recognize that you have a hyphenated name just for time for me, honestly, and ease. So call you Mr. Royale. So what will happen here is each of us will take an opportunity to ask you some questions. When we are done, we will turn the hearing over to our victim's advocate, Mrs. Vasquez, for victim input. And then we will deliberate and give you our decision. Okay?
I don't know about him yet, y'all. Got a big question mark up about him. It's something weird. Something strange. I don't know what's going on here.
I'm going to start with the questions. I have to be honest, Mr. Royale, and tell you that I'm glad that you were able to identify that you're dealing with your mental health issues will help you navigate life in the future. However, for you to sit here before us with just 3 violation of protective orders and 1 threatening is a miracle, because you had so many violations of protective order. And then you're a multi-state offender on top of that. You have a simple battery in Georgia. Who was that?
A woman.
I was at an Airbnb in Georgia, and it was during the time of COVID. And I was with my girlfriend at an Airbnb, and there was a random guy over there that I was really intoxicated, and he got in like a little fight with me outside of the house. And just a little. I was
intoxicated. A stranger,
yeah. And then some lady got involved the Airbnb lady came in and I guess separated us, and the police came and just arrested me.
They count. So that's 1. And then what did you do? What did you do in North Carolina that they have a warrant for you?
North Carolina has a warrant for me?
Yeah. What did you do?
I never knew about that. That's news to me.
Okay. I had to verify it. I mean, I know that the saw that he has a warrant in North Carolina. Oh, for consuming alcohol? Okay.
What is it for?
At the age of 19? Under the age, okay. Consuming alcohol under the age limit, under 21. That's what happened. In North Carolina.
I remember that.
Oh, now you remember it. Okay.
I never thought I had a warrant for it. I never got arrested or anything.
No, they probably gave you a citation and then you never went to court. They're not going to arrest you for underage drinking unless you're acting violently or trying to drive a motor vehicle.
I just remember I woke up in the hospital there and all my family was around. And it's just at the same time. I woke up in the hospital and my family was around.
If you can't remember, it's too many times.
Right. He getting them all confused.
That's the problem, sir. If you drink to a point that you don't remember what and when.
No, that was actually my first time drinking like that. I never drank like that.
You weren't supposed to be drinking, period. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
And there seems to be a pattern of your abuse of alcohol. And I read that you said you were self-medicating, which I completely understand. But when you're self-medicating, you become violent. And that's where the problem lies, sir. I really don't see any evidence of change here. I know we were talking about your participating in the Tier 2 program and completing that. Even that aside, you still have received 2 disciplinary infractions, one just this year that was really a fight, but they called it an interference with safety and security. You violated this protective order with this young lady. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 times, and you were only charged for 3. And there were a bunch of other charges that they just knowledge because you had so many. And I when the officer asked you about why you committed the offense, you said the victim came into your store, the victim invited you over. I mean, wait, there was one that really, the victim locked herself inside a big wide bathroom because she was afraid of you. You want your partner to be afraid of you?
Absolutely not.
So what did you do to instill this kind of fear in this woman?
I don't believe it when someone's absolutely not. Like, if it's no, say no. You know, like the Bible says, let your yea be yea, be no. Okay? Like, just say, like, if it's no, it's no. It's not. Well, absolutely not. Like, no. He does want her to be afraid. And some guys do. Some guys want you to fear them, to be afraid of them. And that's how they keep you in control. That's how they manipulate you. That's how they dominate. Through fear. And I don't believe him when he says absolutely not. Like, if it's no, it's no. Otherwise, yeah, you do. Comes the excuses.
I know. It's just.
Is he slow or something? Is he slow, y'all? Do y'all think are y'all getting a slow vibe? I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of delayed vibes off of him. I don't know if it's like this is part of the game that he playing, or if there's like I don't know, child. It's something off. Something real off about this dude.
So you can't control your partner, sir. And then for the life of me, I don't understand why when they don't want you to contact them, why you still contact them. Is she worth your being in prison?
Absolutely not, man.
There you go. There's another absolutely not. I told y'all. He don't care. I mean, he couldn't even say a definitive no about that. Like, no, I don't want to be in prison. Absolutely not. Child, please. You lying.
If the president of the United States called me and tell me to come on over, if there's a protective order in place, I'm not going. I don't understand the decision making time after time. And they gave you 30 months for this sentence. And sir, I think that sentence was appropriate. I have no intentions on supporting your request for discretionary parole today. I do not believe that you're a suitable candidate.
Yeah,
based on, the nature of these crimes, it's a repeated pattern. Alcohol violence, alcohol consumption, controlled violence. It's too much for me. It really is too much. So, Ms. Turner. Oh wait, one last thing. I apologize. And then when the officer asked you, what were you going to do to refrain from incurring any more charges, criminal convictions? You said you're going to stay with the Israels. What does that mean?
No. So,
oh Lord, is he one of them? Y'all, is he one of them? She's talking about some Israelite thing. Oh, God. See, I told y'all. The narcissism in the Black community is rooted in like slavery stuff and religion. It is.
He asked me a few questions. He asked me, what am I going to do when I go back into the world to avoid these
right, that's what I just said.
Getting into this. And I told him for the last 15 years, you know, I work in a Jewish community, and I work and I sell cosmetics, and I have we have a lot of traditions that we follow throughout the years, throughout the calendar. And I got off track, you know, whenever I closed my store in Denver. I started to do like drugs. I was in the streets. I was riding around.
What did you mean by the statement, sir, that you were going to stay with them? Are you implying?
I need to stay around my community, like my friends, with the people that I work with. Not
that
like
would
specific.
imply, sir, that you're not the problem. You're the problem. You're the common denominator. So
you're the problem.
Of who you're around, if your mentality is still the same, you're going to continue to incur criminal convictions. You can be angry with your Jewish community. You can be angry. This was a stranger that you beat up in Georgia.
I didn't beat up someone. I got into an altercation where I was intoxicating them. I was charged with
it says simple assault.
Yeah, and they dropped the charges because I spoke with the victim. We all spoke. The victim spoke with me. But
I'm saying to you that you need to identify that you are the problem.
Absolutely, ma'am. I know this for 100%. I am the problem. Yep.
So, Mr. Royal, do you remember?
Oh, was that a tinge of attitude? Did y'all see that? See, he changed it just like the other guy. They can only pretend so long. They can only pretend so long, and then it takes over. Look at that face. I don't trust it, y'all. I don't trust it at all. I think he's playing dumb. Like he's playing like he's a little slow. Like he's not quite understanding the full question. Just like he's giving weird vibes. But I'm glad to see he's not working on a parole board.
Remember the Hotel Zero incident back in January of 2022?
Yes, ma'am. That was the first.
That was a threatening second. Can you tell me the initials of the victim in that case? HC. Okay. So, building off of what my colleague was just talking to you about, at the time of this incident, when the police were called, you had only been dating for a couple of weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm struggling to appreciate why, after, within a few weeks, you're still getting to know one another and figuring out whether this is a possible fit or, whether you're, connecting enough to keep pursuing a relationship. So she didn't think so. And you could not accept that. And I just don't understand how you could say to another human being that you're going to send people to her to make her life difficult. And you were also quoted in the police report as saying, "I will kill you slowly until you shoot yourself."
Yeah, he is not even making a face off that. He said, what did he say? He was going to kill you slowly till you shoot yourself? What? Who says that? Look at his face, y'all. Telling you this. It's something mental, like very mental going on here. It's just like, it's scary. It's like if you ever get with him, it doesn't matter who you are, you're never going to get free, And it seems like, from what they were saying, it seems like he has multiple restraining orders and stuff against him. So it seems like multiple women. Like nobody's safe around him.
Do you have
and then why is he in cosmetics anyway? That sounds real fishy. Like that's his way of getting close to women. Yeah, are y'all seeing that? Like, why are you in cosmetics, sir? Because that gives you access to women.
Anything to say?
I was at that time just I was saying anything. It's not the character personal who I am and what I would actually do.
Your words are a reflection of your character. And if why would you think that somebody who's trying to take themselves out of a relationship with you is going to want to stay with you when you threaten to kill them slowly?
Do they kill? Do they shoot?
Do you understand how absurd that is?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay.
What kind of threat is that anyway? I'm gonna kill you slowly till you shoot yourself. Yeah, and he is totally unbothered, unimpacted. Like this has no effect on him at all. Look at the body language. Look how he has his leg crossed. How he's looking at him. Child, keep him in there. Keep him.
Respecting
we don't
women.
want him out here.
And that in the situations that I had there, yes, I did. I did at the time.
And you have not. You've never taken a domestic violence class?
Yeah, I did. I only had 2 weeks to finish before the last ticket that they gave me. I was in the domestic violence class, and I took anger management classes as well in the world. I took one, but I just didn't finish it.
All right. Well, you need to continue taking these programs, sir, because you've got to get a handle on your emotions and your thoughts, and that you can verbally intimidate and abuse other people and think that they're going to want to be with you. That all you're doing is creating a hostage, someone who's with you because they're too afraid to leave you. That's not a relationship. Why would you want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you? Have enough self-respect to walk away.
Right.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Thank you, Mr. Robin.
I have no questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. At this time,
That it has no impact on him. No impact whatsoever, y'all. No impact.
Mr. Royale, we're done with our questions. We're going to turn the hearing over to our victim's advocate. Good morning again, Ms. Vasquez. Please do not interrupt, sir.
Good morning, Madam Chair and board members. I had the opportunity to speak with the victim, and she has requested that I read a statement on her behalf. And it reads like this. I am happy for his moving forward with his life, and I wish him only the best of success. I believe in him. He'll learn from his past, and he will succeed.
I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him, y'all. Look at him. I don't believe him in that at all.
In a business together, he spent money I had given him for the purpose of starting a business venture together. That business venture did not go as agreed, and I never got the money returned to me.
You are trash.
There's a lot of financial loss that I've had to work hard to get this money on my own. It is good to see him getting back on his feet. I would hope that at some point with his new job, he considers repaying the money he had taken from me, which sums about $70,000.
Y'all, she gave him $70,000, and he took $70,000, and she's still trying to wish him the best. Child, please.
And other things that I'm not sure exactly what the money was used for. Other than that, I wish him only the best with his future intentions and hope for lots of success. Thank you, Adam.
Maybe he went to the strip club like that last guy, like the last guy that we saw, and shoot somebody and then goes to the strip club after that. Child, please. Where are these people from?
This case.
Thank you, Ms. Vasquez. All right, so give us a few minutes to talk about the case, Mr. Royale. And again, you may listen, but you may not interrupt. I think I've stated my position on this applicant. I do not believe that he is suitable for a discretionary parole. He has not shown us any evidence that he's changed.
Nope.
He hasn't completed any programs to put into our records, and also the nature of this offense is very concerning.
I concur with your summary. I share your concerns. I think Mr. Royal has a lot of work to do. And he has 7.5 years of this sentence hanging over his head when he goes out to 5 years probation. And I do hope he'll be successful.
As do I.
I would also agree, Madam Chair, with what you said about Mr. Royal. I think that he really does need to continue a lot of work in order to put his life back together. Yeah.
Thank you. With regard to
Can I suggest nature and circumstance, inadequate evidence of offender change, poor institutional adjustment, and inadequate release plan?
I have nature, circumstance, inadequate evidence, lack of program participation because he didn't do that.
But he is debating, now he's saying he did DD and we don't have any information about that. So I thought, release plan and institutional adjustment.
I don't care about his release plan, I cannot release him.
Yeah.
But he didn't come with one that would have, provided us any confidence.
He said nature and circumstance, inadequate evidence, I'm sorry,
Constitutional adjustment.
So we can, that's plenty, right? So, okay, thank you. So with regard to Jabal Royak 440236, I move that is requestful. I move that with discretionary parole be denied based on his, the nature and circumstance of his offense, his poor institutional adjustment, and inadequate evidence of offender change. He will not receive a new hearing and he will finish his sentence and will out for his probation. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. All right, Mr. Royale, you received all of this in writing. I think this is your best, sir.
Yeah, go back to your cell.
You're all set. You can ask the officer to send in the next person, please.
No parole for Tate. Thank you. None. Mr. Tate is not getting parole.
And here we go again because of anger issues. I don't think it ever gets old. And he looks stunned, right? Like he's like, wait, what just happened? He's just like sitting there like totally flabbergasted. Now his poll date is January 10th, 2026. So at the time of this recording, he's got, I don't know, I'm not good at math, but I guess 1 year and 6 months or something left on his sentence. And I don't know if this is his poll, if this is the name, his birth name, or if he changed it, but Brad Lad Duval Royal. I mean, that's the name. And Sir Richard found something on YouTube. Yeah, apparently he's a rap artist, so he has a song.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to play it for you for multiple reasons. Sir Richard has a note.
And it has a parental advisory on it too, y'all. Look at all them drinks in his hand. Isn't that how he got... Did they say he had a drinking problem? He got a drinking problem. And look at his CD cover. Y'all. Not with all that liquor in his hands. What is that? Some Ciroc or something? Different flavors of Ciroc? I mean, what is happening here? And that's the rock of all drinks, okay? not the drink that Diddy was behind. Child, you can't make this stuff up. These folks is something else.
This is what Sir Richard says on the song. Words fail me at his lyricist talents. So I did listen to it. I'm not going to play it.
Is it good?
Because I don't know how copyright works.
Man, is it good? Just let us know if it's good or not.
That. And really, if I play it,
I know it's
and
garbage.
he decides to copyright strike me, I just don't want to deal with that type of drama. I don't care. So if you want to check it out, you can run the search yourself. I just don't say I didn't warn you.
Y'all let me know if y'all look it up.
But it's interesting. He came in with like this smile and attitude, and I wasn't sure what we were gonna expect, but apparently it's someone else. And like the parole board said, I love it when they're so on point. They're just on point. They seem so disgusted by both these men hearing, and it was Barry Page and it was Barry Page Rodriguez, who should not be mistaken for Mike Paul. I know he can sound like Mike Paul. Rodriguez is the other man, and Turner. And I think this is a good mix. Barry, or Miss Page, Rodriguez, and Turner seems to be quite a good match. They're not messing around. And
y'all need to go check out his channel. Like those parole hearings are really, really interesting. Let me show you. I'm gonna show y'all where I am. Let me see. I'm just now starting. Hold on. Just now starting chapter 3 edits. So I've gotten all the way through here. Now I'm on chapter 3. And I'm tired. I feel like I need a nap. Okay. Your girl needs a nap. But I'm gonna go ahead and change this formatting on here. And see, these are just one of the, like, some of the tedious things that you have to do, like go through and make sure that your formatting is right. And, make sure you got everything in its proper place. So make sure I have this, got it in my table of contents and all of that stuff. And that's a level 2 right there. So, but then other than that, I'm going through just making edits and, changing stuff that doesn't sit right. Like, see all this extra space right there? That's not supposed to be like that. So I got to go through and change that. But I mean, it's pretty easy. It's not anything really hard to do. I've already, got a list of all the changes that I want to make. So I'm just going through and then putting in those changes and, changing any formatting issues that I see. Like, see here, I got to change this formatting stuff, like, and then I think I'm going to just go ahead and send this one to the editor. This one will be her first time. It'll be her first time editing this one, but I think I'm going to be fine with one edit from her. I think so. Like, I'm saying that now, but y'all know, like, it could change. But I think that I'm just going to send it through one time to her and just have her, like, just check everything, make sure I'm good. So when she sends it back, then, it'll be pretty much just ready to go, Let me see. What is that? What's that about? Okay. So, yeah, that's where we are, you guys. Just steady making progress. And I don't know. I kind of think I want to have, like, this. Wait a minute. Why can't y'all see this? Hold on. Why can't y'all see this? Anyway, whatever. I think I want to have this one out, like, in a month, y'all. And I don't really see any reason why I can't. Like, it'll be done. And just like the Objectified book, it's like 95% done. This one's like 75. It has to go through the edits, and then she's probably just gonna go ahead and make all the edits herself that she sees. I trust her, so I'm usually good with the edits that she makes. And then I'll go through and look at it again, listen to it. What I do is I'll go right here to look, I'm acting like I'm still sharing my screen. But anyways, I go to the review tab in Word, and then I hit the read aloud button. Let me just show you. I'll just show y'all what it is. So maybe this will be helpful to someone. Why isn't it showing it though? Hold on. Let me stop sharing it, and then I'm gonna share it again. See if that makes it better. Let's see. Okay, there we are. So, okay, y'all see here, right? Like, this is the book here, and this is where I left off. So I'm gonna highlight this so I know that this is where I left off at chapter 3. And then let's see, let's go all the way back up. And what I usually do is I go right here, I go past the table of contents because I don't want it to read all that. So I go right here to the dedication and then go to the review tab and go to this read aloud feature. It's right here. Click on that. And it starts reading the book to me. And as you can see, I dedicated this book to Olivia. She passed away. She used to be a member of my father's church as well. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah, so she used to be a member. Hold on, I'll show y'all her obituary. But this is her. This is my girl. This is Olivia. And this book is dedicated to her. So that's what you see in the beginning is the dedication to her. And so I just listen to the book. Like I have to, when I'm listening to it, I can hear, changes that I need to make. Because it's like sometimes when you're reading it, when you're trying to proof your own work, you can't really hear or you can't really see the changes that need to be made. Sometimes like you'll see a word and it doesn't sound right, it doesn't look right, but you can't see it, right? Because you're just used to looking at it. So it's like you almost kind of blind to some of the errors that are there. So when I hear it being read back to me, then I'm able to, hear some mistakes or hear changes that I need to make that doesn't quite read right, So that helps me in the editing process. So that's what I do, like multiple times. I just keep listening to it. If it doesn't sound right, sometimes I hear stuff and I'm like, okay, I got to go back and change that, or do some changes, or like flip some things around or whatever. So that's just part of my editing process. So what I'm going to do now is take a nap, okay, and just listen to the book being read to me, and then when I get up in a few hours, then I'm just going to start right back. I'll start right back editing again. And that's really like my process, it's really nothing that's too like fun. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like listen to stuff. I watch different videos or something, have something playing in the background. Because during this process, I don't need to be like extremely focused. You know what I mean? Like I already know the changes that I want to make, and I can just add them, as I go through it. So it doesn't require me to be so focused that I can't have any like distracting or, be also like multitasking and listening to other things, So, but there is a part of the process where, I just really have to be hyper focused on what I'm doing. But this isn't that phase of the process. So I can watch stuff and interact with y'all and do all the things, while I'm editing this book. So that's why I am in the process. And like, as you can see, let me maximize this again so y'all can see this. Hold on. So as you can see, like it's coming together nicely. Let me make this bigger. This is a provoke to purpose. Like it starts off with a letter to daughters. Actually, it doesn't start off with a letter to daughters. It starts off with a letter to the abuser. So that's going to be interesting. I can't wait for y'all to read this book. Like it's, what? Y'all know what's crazy though? Is that one time, actually a few times, I was listening to the book being read, on Word. And y'all, it made me emotional. I was like, oh my gosh. And if I wrote the book and I'm listening to the book and it's making me emotional listening to the book, then I'm just wondering how, what the impact is going to be for y'all, because it's like, I know the story, I wrote it, I lived it, and I'm listening to it and it's like, it's making me feel a ways, like I think that a lot of daughters are going to see themselves in this book. And, just like with all the other books too, but this one, the difference between this one and the first one is that I have a lot of lessons learned, like I can actually give you advice now. Whereas before it was like, I just couldn't, like, I was just like all wrapped up in the pain of it all and just trying to make sense of it, that I couldn't really offer y'all much like wisdom from it. Only the fact that I know what I know, I saw what I saw, I heard what I heard, I felt what I felt. And I'm not going to be denied that. I'm not going to be gaslit anymore. I'm not going to be led to believe that I'm wrong, that I'm not saved, that I'm not, listening to God, that, I'm possessed by a demon, and, all of the stuff that my father was telling me, And so now it's like, this is like years after the fact of working through the process, working through the healing and, making sense of things. And even though, like ever since I exposed my father, I've been getting threats and, from family members and all of that stuff, there's been people who like, I feel like aren't friends with me now. There are, people that I feel like judged me, harshly, like wrongly, But, it's all part of that process. And so now I could give you, like the aftermath of breaking free from, toxic relationships, of breaking free from spiritual abuse. When you break free from a toxic relationship with anything, person, place, or thing, then you're breaking free from more than just that person, place, or thing. You're breaking free from a lot of attachments that were all wrapped up in that connection to that toxic thing, or person, place, or thing. And a lot of people aren't really prepared for that. You don't realize that when you leave a relationship, then you may be leaving a lot of people that's also attached to that relationship, and these people may leave you. You may not be the one to, do all the leaving. It may be people leaving you because you dare to stand up and say, no, this is not going to go like this. This is not going to happen. I'm not going to be manipulated anymore. I'm not going to be deceived. I'm not going to be abused. And, some people don't like that. Especially, when you're speaking about their favorite person or, their influencer or someone who's popular or who has a lot of money. I mean, we're seeing that all over the place now, with all the exposing that is being done. You're going to get a bit of backlash from it. But it's very helpful when a person who has experienced it can, go back and say, hey, this is what I experienced. And this is the advice that I can give you. This is, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so to speak, that I can give you about this situation, so that when you are faced with this situation, then you know what to expect. And if you're not faced with this situation, and maybe a friend of yours is, and you'll know how to help them to get through it. So, it's a lot to consider, a lot to think about, but I'm grateful. It's a lot of people who have been through the things that I've been through who aren't sane enough to even articulate it. They're not sane enough to write about it. They're still wrapped up in it. They're still attached. They're still, they're afraid. Or they're not alive. They didn't make it through. A lot of people don't make it through some of the things that I've been through. And so I'm grateful that I have made it through and that I can tell this story and, help someone else, help other daughters. So, that's where we are right now. So I'm gonna let y'all go. We've been on here for, almost 3 hours, y'all. So I'm going to take a break, go take a nap. And then when I get up, I'm coming right back, and I'll probably just go live again. I might even have on the same clothes, y'all. Okay. I don't need your judgments. Okay. We got to get this done, people. Okay. I'm clean though. Like, I took a shower. Y'all, sometimes I'll be in the trenches. I'm not even going to lie. Sometimes I'll be in the trenches, y'all. And it may be a minute before I get a shower in, because I just be like, I'd be so in it. Like sometimes I just be like, I'll be so focused. But y'all don't need to know about all that part. Y'all don't need to know about all that. Okay. My husband still loves me. Okay. That's all you need to know. So I'll let y'all go, and thank y'all for tuning in with me. Again, in the chat, y'all like the video. And then let me know what y'all are working on, y'all, so we can hold each other accountable. Okay. I love y'all, and thank y'all for tuning in with Writing with Delores. I will see y'all later. Remember, you are important to me. I need you to survive.